Oh, now I'm your host, Lambo Drew. You are now tuned into another edition of The Leverage Show. You do not want to miss this. I'm telling you right now, it is getting ready to be a hot one tonight, and we are excited about tonight. I'm trying to tell y'all this right now. Make sure you guys are definitely sharing this, getting this information out to each and every single person you possibly can, because I'm telling you what, this show tonight is definitely going to be hot, man. We got my guy CA Murf in the building, so you guys do not want to go on ahead and not be tapped in. Make sure, again, you guys are sharing, getting this information out to everybody tonight, because you're getting ready to hear, man, from one of the best, man, who's been actually out here doing some amazing things. But before we bring on, man, my next guest, man, I want to tap in, see how everybody was doing, man, making sure you guys have had an amazing weekend and you guys have enjoyed yourself, right, for the very first week in the new year. You know what? We always understand how the very first weeks can kind of go in these new years, and we want to be able to make sure you're starting your 2024 off just right. For those and everything, man, who got the chance yesterday to tune into that special Zoom with me and my guy, Tim Roberts, man, we truly thank you. I'm telling you what, we had a ball last night, man. And for all of y'all who showed up, man, it was about almost 30 people, man, showed up last night. We thank y'all, man, because I'm trying to tell y'all this right now. We know for a fact that when we are here to really help people, man, we are here to truly help people. That meeting will be held twice a month. Again, twice a month on Mondays. I'm thinking it's the second and fourth Monday. The second and fourth Monday of each month. You do not want to miss that Zoom. You want to be tapped in, man. And that should be, I think, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. PST every single other Monday. So you guys definitely, not next Monday, but the following Monday, we'll be back on for a special Zoom showing you how to grow your business credit, giving you all of the tips, the tricks, and having special guests. Some people are stars on Netflix right now and have their own shows, and we're going to bring on a lot of different people with information to be able to sit down and share with you and get in a lot of knowledge. I'm telling you what, the Leverage Show family showed up, man, and showed out yesterday, man, on that Zoom. Shout out to LA Law. Shout out to Blue Sky. Shout out to my guy Murff. And shout out and everything, man, to Keith. Larry was in the building. And shout out to, man, we had so many people yesterday. It was insane. T. Hugie came on and asked so many questions, man. So just shout out. It was a breath of fresh air to see him on there. And Franco and Anthony, my guy Anthony, Italian Stallion, man. We had so many people on that show yesterday. It was amazing. And if you guys do not want to miss the next Zoom, because we gave away free giveaways on that Zoom yesterday, and it really, 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 man, blessed and changed a lot of people's lives. And we're going to be actually, shout out to my cousin. My cousin Errol was on there yesterday. My wifey was on there yesterday. We had so many people was on there yesterday. It really, really, really blessed us. To definitely go on ahead, man, and to be in that building, man. So you guys don't want to miss this, man. Every other Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're doing a special Zoom for business credit, business funding, business structure. We're running all the plays. We're even going to talk about the exotic car play on that. So if you guys want to run that play, we're going to talk about that. If that's something you've been dream of running a play or getting business credit or whatever that is, purchasing real estate. I don't know what it is that you might need. You want to be on that Zoom every other Monday. I'm telling you what, we're going higher, man, in 2024. Truly love you guys. Let's see who's in the building, man. First up in the building, Blue Sky. Blue Sky goes on ahead, man, and showing her love. Happy, beautiful, blessed, favorite time for a Breakthrough Tuesday. Shout out to you, Blue Sky, man. Thank you for definitely tapping in. Blue Sky was definitely representing yesterday in the Zoom and in the wonderful Zoom with Coach Rashid over this Saturday. If you guys missed that, you guys want to go back definitely and tap in to my guy, Coach Rashid, and especially what he's doing and really being able to help level people up for all 2024. And Blue Sky was definitely on there, man, as well. So thank you, Blue Sky. Let's raise our level of expectations and prepare to receive ideas that we can begin to implement this week. How did you know what Murf is coming with now, Blue Sky? Only Blue Sky would go ahead and pull that out there. You know my guy Murf gonna bring it tonight, man. Come on now. CA Murf, I'm sure that you will do a phenomenal job this evening, Blue Sky. Shout out to you, Blue Sky. Thank you. You already know. And the partner in crime. These two ladies are killing it, man. LA Law is in the building. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope all is well. Thank you, LA Law, for definitely tapping in and tapping on yesterday. That was truly amazing. Truly, truly, truly was a blessing to finally hear LA Law's voice for the very first time. And it was amazing. You and Blue Sky, definitely, man, we appreciate you guys, man, for all that you ladies do here, right here on The Leverage Show. Blue Sky, good to see you, man. LA Law. Blue Sky showing love right back to LA Law. Love it. LA Law says, CA Murf, let's go with the fire emoji. Y'all make sure y'all put that in there, fire emojis in there for my guy Murf, because you know it's going down today. My guy Issa is in the building. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Shout out to you, Issa, man. I see Issa definitely been getting it in, man, for the 2024 year. It's so good to actually see my guy tapping in right here on the broadcast. He knows Murf definitely well. They was together in D.C., definitely kicking it and chopping it up, eating some chicken wings and some food at the table in D.C. So shout out to my guy, Issa, for definitely showing love. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for your support, Issa. You already know, brother. We are happy that you can come and show your brother some love, man. LA Law says, hi, Issa. Good to see you, man. Showing love. My guy, Don Buchanan, man. Hold on. This Lambo bell got to go off for this brother right here. I really, really, really want to go ahead and give a special shout out to this guy right here, right? For those who don't know, man, this is Murf's partner in business. We can't say partner in crime because they ain't doing no crimes. Only thing they doing is stealing time and having a good time. You understand? But this is his ace, man, his ace in the hole, man, his guy, Don, man. And so thankful, man, that Don was able to go ahead, man, and kind of introduce me and Murf together and bridge us together. And it's because of wonderful people, man, like my guy Don, man, and showing love, man, through wonderful people like Coach Rashid and all the entire generations of people who are connection with this show. We're able to go on ahead and bridge together, man, this wonderful partnership. And we're excited, man, for Don, for what you have actually did, man, and bringing, man, your guy Murf, and you actually coming up and showing up. That's exactly what we love. So me being on this Leverage Show today for your guy Murf, we giving you that Lambo bell, man. Thank you, Don, for definitely tapping in, brother. Fully welcome to the Leverage Show. LA Law showing love to Don. Welcome him in with that bell. Yes. LA Law, Blue Sky, Mr. CA Murf. You already know, man. My wonderful wife is in the building, man. She is showing love. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. You know she going to be on here to pick with Murf, so she going to make sure she keep Murf tight out here. All right, Murf, man, their relationship is amazing. I love it because this is what this thing is about, man. Murf has been that brother, man, that you already know, man. Fit in just like a glove, man. I would say something else and everything, but I'm going to keep my rights on here, man. I would say, no, I'm going to say it anyway. We're on the Leverage Show. That man and everything, man, look, he fit like the glove. Remember when OJ was like, listen, the glove don't fit? Like, you know that glove was fitting. You know that glove was fitting from OJ. But good gracious, shout out and everything, man, to my wife for showing love, man, for her brother Murf and being out here showing support. Love, love, love the queen. Don, man, showing love to LA Law. Love that, man. Welcome to the show, Murphy. And she got the laughing emoji. You know my wife is definitely in the building. You know she going to hype her brother up, man. LA Law showing love to Mr. Johnson. So good to see you, man. Thank you for that, LA Law. Truth Media is in the building. Shout out to you. Miss Karen is in the building. What's up, Lambo Drew? What's up, Karen? Thank you for tapping in. And I know you definitely come and support your brother, and that's what we love, man. LA Law showing love to Truth Media. Good to see you, man. Loving to see this actually out here. Lee Ray, hello, Lee Ray. Shout out to you, Lee Ray. Definitely coming with the wonderful support for our wonderful brother, man, Murf in the building. Thank you for the first time on the Leverage Show, Lee Ray. Good to see you. My guy, Jamal Titus is in the building, man. Lambo Drew in the house, man. Happy Tuesday, Leverage Show family. You already know what time it is. Thank you for this, JT. So much love. And JT and Murf got a chance to really enjoy themselves and kick it, man, in DC, along with my guy Kennard Haney as well, man. And they got a chance really get a chance to meet him and bond with my brother Murf. So truly, I knew they was definitely going to be on here, man. Jamal Toddy saying, hey, LA Law, let's go, man. You know what time it is. LA Law said Money Mondays was lit. Can't wait until the next one. Listen, you do not want to miss Money Mondays with me and Tim Roberts and some of the special guests we bringing in on the Zoom. I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind what we're going to be able to do and show you. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to get something to you. Literally all free. We're just trying to get something to you so that you can really level up all 2024 and be able to ask those questions. And trust me, there is no stupid, dumb question or idiotic question or anything that you're saying that you don't know how to. Listen, ask it. The only stupid question or idiotic question that's not asked is the one that you don't ask, right? Because the last thing you want to be looking like is a fool out here or not trying to go anywhere with. So shout out to you, LA Law. Truly appreciate you for that. I'm telling y'all, put that on your camera for Money Mondays because, man, we coming at you 4 times a week. Lambo coming at y'all 4 times a week. Shout out to my guy, man. Unlimited Freedom is in the building. What's up, Lambo and Murf? Shout out to you guys. You guys already know, man, my guy Unlimited Freedom. Please go like and subscribe to the channel, man. He is killing the game. He knows me and Murf, man, definitely firsthand, and is definitely leveling up. If you guys can't level up with my guy Unlimited Freedom, I don't know and everything what planet you on. Shout out to you, Unlimited Freedom, baby. I know you was definitely going to support me and Murf in the building. Baby, you know us, 1, 2. We definitely going to make this thing happen out here. PC Chanel is in the building. Hello, Lambo family. Thank you, PC, for showing some love in the building, man, tonight. You already know, man. Hi, Lee. Welcome in. LA Law, you already know we hit that bell for Lee, man. Showing so much love. Welcome to all the new family members. Yes, all the new family, all the new supporters, all the new people who are rocking with us right here at the Leverage Show, especially for my guy, Murf, man. This means so much to us tonight. We thank each and every single one of y'all. Truly, my wife definitely had to put that out there. Hey, roll, you know, they're out there doing roll call at this point. Jamal Toddy saying, good evening, Blue Sky. Good evening, IC. Loving to see that, man. LA Law says, hi, Jamal. Hi, Unlimited Freedom. Good to see you. My cuz is in the building, man. Shout out to my cuz, man. What's up, Leverage Show family? Thank you, cuz, for you tapping on, man, and really showing some love. LA Law says, man, hi, PC Chanel. Good to see you, man. My baby says, hi, P Smith. Yeah. Almost forgot about that. P Smith. Shout out to you, P Smith, man. Lee Ray say, thank you, LA Law. Glad to be here. Love it, man. P Chanel says, Blue Sky, LA Law, Jamal, Don, Truth, Lee Ray, Unlimited, Arrow, Murf. Shout out to y'all. Loving to see this. Hi, Arrow. Good to see this. No, I'm telling you, y'all are lighting this thing up. It ain't for me. It's for my guy, Murf, out here, man. I mean, y'all just knew the man was coming in the building, man. We're excited. Don't worry. We got to get him on here in just 1 more minute. We need to change that name, P. Yes, we do. Please hit that like button. Yes, yes, yes. If you are coming in, please hit that like button, man. We truly want to make sure that we get the algorithm of YouTube, man, all the way up, especially for our guest tonight, man. And we definitely want to show him as much as flowers as you can. Yes, she was beautiful, man. Blue Sky, yes. Love that, man. Truly believe that. Lee Ray says, thank you, Mrs. Johnson. LA Law says, oh, thanks. Yes, this is what I want to hear, man. IC 2024, let's go. She already showing love to my guy, Ysidro, in the building, man. Blue Sky, man, showing love to my wife. I love this, man. My cousin says, hi, Renata, man. Showing love to PC, Blue Sky, IC, Lee, Jamal, Unlimited, Truth, Don, and anyone else that I forgot. I love it, cuz, man. PC says, C-Roll, why you have to point that out? You already know. I will change my name soon. You better change your name soon. You's married now. Appreciate all you do, man. LA Law, we love you. We appreciate all you guys do for us. Thanks, Pete, man. You already know. Lee Ray says, hello, Lambo Truth. Let's go. Blue Sky says, Truth Media, showing love to Truth Media. Boy, y'all are in the building. My auntie is in the building tonight. Oh, snap. Murf, you done brought my auntie out now. She about to do a little shimmy for you now. I love it. Shout out to you and everything, Auntie. Thank you for being in the building, baby. You already know, man. I see showing love. Hey, Mr. Jones, by any means necessary, 2024 needs to be the year to turn around my family around. Brother, that's all we claiming, I see. You already know, man. Baby showing love, man. Appreciate everyone. My God, Don said, this group is one of the best things. We must continue to tap in and learn the plays. Don, this is your right-hand man. And you going to type that, brother. I love it, brother. I love it. Full support, man, out there getting it, man. Easter showing love. Fro, it's in the building. Truth Media, say what's up, everybody. Blue Sky, LA Law, love this community. We love you. LA Law showing love. Hi, Fro, good to see you. You already know. Blue Sky showing love to Jamal Titus in the building. Blue Sky showing love to Hot God, man. Unlimited freedom in the building. You already know. Hi, cuz, man. LA Law showing love to High Facebook Arrow, man. You already know. Auntie G is in the building. Yes, she is in the building. Blue Sky showing love. Blue Sky showing love to Fro. Love it, love it, love it. PC say, all right, Don, then say that, man. You already know. Listen, we really want to thank y'all. We got through all those comments, man. It took us 15 minutes. If you guys know, if you guys were at the DC, you guys would have known my time would have just been up already from showing love. But that's what Lambo gonna do. I'm telling y'all this. I ain't letting them off of that 20 minutes for it. They know I'm gonna jab them every time they get that 20 minutes with Lambo. So listen, without further ado, I can't wait to bring, man, this next guest to the Leverage Show. You know, Lambo got to get serious when we say this, right? We're going to have a good time, though, but I got to get serious when I say this. There are so many people that you come across in life and you meet them and your spirits connect. And your vision and what you do and how you ride, they align with each other. From out the gate, the first time I ever met this brother physically, it has been like that. So much to say, not only that, the brother, like I said, I do so much stuff, man, with so many people to help out a lot of people, right? To be able to try to help get them to the next level. But when a person has already been at that next level and they are saying, Lambo, I want to come partner up with you to make some things in your life great, I got to take a step back. Because very few people want to come to the table and are ready to actually bring a dish to the table. Most of the time they come sit at the table with a plate and they're ready to eat and feast of what you done made. He has been that brother that has not only brought dishes to the table, but he's bringing other people to the table because he says, I want them to come eat here too. And instead of us and everything, man, making this about a one-man show, let's make this a potluck so everybody can eat. He's been that voice, that truth, that brother that I can stay up with till 4, 5 a.m. in the morning, having one-on-one times with Lambo. And I'm telling you, when everyone else was asleep and their eyes and everything got really heavy, Murff was out there having one-on-one time with Lambo at 4, 5 a.m. and just business collabing and talking about so many great things and putting together a structure that literally we can go ahead and change the future for the next year. I've been so fortunate and so blessed, man, by God, that this man has came into Lambo's life. And he's become, man, more like a brother to Lambo. More than just a friend, more than just a business partner, but a person that has been cut by blood. And actually, I tell everybody, just because it's blood, don't make it all love. But this brother came in with love. We cannot go on ahead and my track record of what he has done, his history of what he's done, the people who he has helped, single-handedly helped change their life and help pour into their life goes uncounted for. I'm telling you what, his history is amazing by far. Tonight, you're getting ready to get a little bit of that journey and hear his history, where he came from, who he is, who is CA Murf, who is this slick guy, man, that when you see him, he's sharper than a sticker bush, man. When he gets out there and he hits the floor, you see this guy shining than any other person in the room. The radiance of this brother is the sharp of the gold. The old school cats I knew coming up in New Orleans, when they step, I'm trying to tell you right now, they stepping correct. He is that brother and that and then some. He is our brother, our friend. We welcome to this Leverage Show for the first time, my guy, Mr. CA Murf. Welcome to the Leverage Show, my brother.
Lambo, man, you got my cheeks hurting over here, man. You got me smiling, brother. I'm over here literally doing like this, trying to pull my cheeks down because I'm over here. And you in the 20 minutes, brother. You ain't gonna let that 20 minutes go. But for those of us that was out there in Virginia, we know what you're talking about, brother. But listen, man, as I told you when you invited me to do the show, I'm like, listen, I was floored, family, and truly honored. And he spoke to us meeting for the first time out there in Virginia, and to be able to meet with Lambo is one thing, but to start the meeting at midnight and then go to 4 or 5 in the morning, that's a whole nother level there. And so brother, I thank you. I thank Queen Johnson because just her being understanding to have you. Like y'all know, y'all married couples, y'all know your man gone, y'all at the hotel. It's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You down there with who? Right?
Yeah.
And so thank you, Queen, and just for the continued support, brother, because you continue to pour into others, taking of your time, hosting events like this. Yeah. I mean, you're doing what, 4 times a week now? I mean, 25,000. Let's congratulate that 25,000 on the Lambo show. No easy task, boy. I mean, anybody that has a platform knows how difficult that is to be able to get 25,000 subscribers. And of course, as BLJ would say, now it's time for 25,000 more, right? So yeah, family, listen, I definitely appreciate the love and certainly the shout outs. Y'all know I'm one of those that's always in there saying, hey, let's go. Let's get more in 2024. And we definitely want to do that. And let me just put some disclaimers out there because, I'm looking at Lambo's energy. If you're expecting that type of energy from me, I can give you about 5 minutes of that. Then I'm gonna be like, whoo, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. but on real though, anybody that's tuned in, if you got a good memory, put a 1 in the chat. Anybody that's got a good memory. Is that Blue Sky saying she got a good memory?
That's Blue Sky. I think she's always clapping. She already knows.
Okay, good. That'll work. Because here's why I asked if you had a good memory. And we can have a backup. We don't have to just have one. But I'm going to go out to Blue Sky. Because, see, if I get to talking from my heart, I can get distracted. And so I need to be able to get back on point. Yeah. And so if I forget, then I'm going to go to Blue Sky. Now, if she doesn't know, then I have somebody to blame because I don't want to take responsibility, right?
Hey, man. Come on now with it, Murf.
But real talk, fam, I'm honored to be here, like I said, and, get a chance to share my story. And, I took the time to prepare. One of my early mentors, Leroy Johnson, taught me about the 7 Ps. And I don't know if you guys know about the 7 Ps, but prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And, whenever I have the honor of being able to, pour back out into people's lives, I take that seriously because so many people have been kind enough, Lambo included, to pour into my life. And so when, you just feel obligated to give back. And I love this platform because, it's all about positivity. So, and we never know what we gonna get, right? I got my smell on too, y'all. Y'all can't smell me, but
whoa, bro. So you coming with the Versace? We see you, Murf. Look, this is the Murf we know, right? It's gonna be the sharpest guy in the room, and you're gonna know him. The Versace and the smell good. What kind of smell good you got on over there, bro?
I had to go with my staple that y'all told me not to be embarrassed about, my Issey Miyake, but I know if A. Deloach is around, he's going to be like, Issey? But hey, it's I'm going to be ready when we get back together for the core 4. That's for sure.
Okay. I'm ready for you. We ready for you, Murf. Shout out to Murf, man. Shout out to Coach Rashid. We see you in the building as well.
Absolutely.
Coach Rashid showing love.
Oh, man. Again, I could spend the day just going through the shout outs, man, because every week, man, we have more and more that's here. And just like I said, just the love, man, and everybody lifting each other up. And, I'll say this: when we went through the pandemic, because of the community that I was part of, each week we were doing Zooms.
Yeah.
And in those Zooms, we were, sharing information to people,
Yeah.
and we had different leadership meetings, things like that.
Yeah.
But we were always there smiling, lifting one another up. And
Yeah.
for so many people, they didn't have communities to plug into.
Yeah.
And so I really got an appreciation for something that, is easy to take for granted, because oftentimes if people aren't part of a community, when something like that happens, they can't easily pivot and be in a community. Well, because we had already put in the work prior to that, and it started transitioning to Zooms anyway, when that pandemic hit, man, we didn't miss a beat. We all were right there, and being able to lift one another up, celebrate one another from all across the country and into Canada. And so this just reminds me of that ability to be able to tap in and be uplifted. In fact, I was telling Lambo a few weeks ago, I'm somebody that, 99.99% of the time, I'm upbeat. I'm all the way lit for real, because I'm just enjoying life and enjoying my blessings.
Yeah.
And so I told Lambo, I'm like, man, that was one of the few times that I plugged in and I was feeling low. And this environment lifted me up. And I can only imagine how many times you all have come to here feeling as though I was in that essence. And so, man, just having avenues like this that we can plug into is huge. And so, like I said, I'm going to tell you, my truth. And, if I offend anyone, trust me, please charge it to my head and not my heart, because that is not my intention. And I want to speak with you, not to you, but just, with you, because as I go through, my truth and my story, it's I want to share it in such a way to where it can be a learning experience, right? Because I want to always be able to provide value, and prayerfully through my story and some of the challenges that I've had, you can see yourself in that, or just reassure yourself that, it's the struggles that, we all go through. And prayerfully, as I go through this, I'll be able to tap into someone. If I just connect with one person, that'd be one person that I was privileged to be able to bless. And, what I operate from are three principles that have served me well. And one is, keep God first. And, that could be whatever that is for you, and I always say, listen, if you're going to be an atheist, just be a upbeat atheist, whatever it turns you on. But for me, I just keep God first. And then number two is I treat people the way that I want to be treated, ... or the way that they want to be treated if it's different, right? And then number three is I pride myself on being a man of my word. And those three principles have served me well and been able to establish wonderful relationships all throughout the country, and for that matter, worldwide. And, I know who I am and whose I am, and I give him the glory. So trust me, as I go through this, I prayerfully, it comes across as a humble spirit and not an arrogant spirit, right? And so just by way of my background, my parents, as I was saying last week, that both of them are from Mississippi. My mother's from Louisville, Mississippi. My father's from Akron, Mississippi. And he had four boys. My parents had four boys, and I was the baby boy. So I had an opportunity to observe a lot, right? And oftentimes it wasn't by choice. If y'all know, y'all know what I mean. They'd be like, shut up, sit over there, right? But I was observant, and it allowed me to see the things that you shouldn't do, and then some of the things that you should. And I'm from 8 Mile. If you think about Eminem, right? He was talking about 8 Mile. And literally right over there on 8 Mile is where I was born. And we tell you that this situation that happened, kind of give you an idea of my surroundings. I was with my cousins, and they were older than I. I'm gonna blame them, right? And we had a roach problem in the basement. We kept seeing these roaches and everything, and so we felt that. And let me blame them. They came up with the idea that if we plug the drain and then put this water, let the water overflow, we could drown the roaches. Y'all know how that worked out, right? Oh man, the spankings that day, ooh man. And so then, fortunately, because my parents, now neither one of them had a college degree, but they had a great work ethic, right? And my father was working in out in Northville, and he always was smiling. Anything, anybody that knows my father knows that he was always smiling. Prayerfully, I get that from my father. And he got the attention of a elderly lady, and that was a supervisor, and he kept always smiling, always working, and she was getting up in age and had some businesses that she was looking for somebody that could help her with her business. And so my father ended up being that person that, so now he's working there, he's working over there with her. And as time went on, she gave him a sweetheart deal. He was able to get the business and kept building the business. And I was thinking about this because, man, as I was preparing, just some of the thoughts, because I remember my mother one time asking my father, she said, hey, let me get $10. And my father said, for what? Ooh, that was the wrong response. That set my mother off. And my mother was like, I will never, ever ask again. And she never did. And she started building her own. So I had two entrepreneurs as parents. And my mother, man, her hustle was strong. My mother would outwork my father, boy. And so I watched that work ethic. And I can remember, kind of just fast forwarding through what my mother was able to do is she got this Mercedes. 4-door Mercedes. My father was like, we spending that kind of money, but she got that 4-door Mercedes. She would not let him drive it. But it was the work ethic, right? And because of that work ethic, we were able to move from 8 Mile to 7 Mile, and better surroundings. And I didn't know the term at the time in terms of what we would call mentors, right? But on that block, we had Alex J. Allen. This gentleman was a judge. And as I was preparing for this, I was trying to get a picture of him, and I just ran into this article because, he ended up becoming a chief judge, 36th District Court. And he used to, he just saw something in me, right? And, he would just always, in fact, he was the one that taught me how to properly hold a fork and hold a knife. Now, I didn't get that from my parents, but when I went to his home to eat, and I, would just be doing my things, I don't know, no. And he took the time to teach me that. And then, I used to go to his courtroom, and it was like shortly after I would show up, wherever that break was, he was like, told the bailiff, hey, we're going to take a recess. He would take me back in his chambers. Now imagine that, as a young man and seeing the judge, do this. And so it was influential. Now, right next door, we had the Huxtables right next door, because it was a married couple. Both of them were doctors. So you know where I'm going with that, right? And their son, Robert, kind of nerdy, but, he was there. And let's see, then down the street was a gentleman by the name of Leroy Johnson. Now, Leroy Johnson, his sister was dating my brother. And periodically I'd be around, but he took a liking to me and then started mentoring me. Now, Leroy Johnson, if you go into the Xerox building, over one of their conference doors, they have his name there because of what he was able to provide. And this is, going back some years, right? And just who he was. And so to be able to have those type of people that I was around that took a liking to this, saw something in me, was a blessing. And then we moved from 7 Mile to Southfield to, over on, what was that, 9 Mile, right? These mile roads over here. If my people over in Detroit, y'all know what I'm talking about. And so one of the things that I can remember making that transition, because there weren't a lot of people with lighter pigmentation over in the Detroit area that I came up from in 8 Mile and then going over to 7 Mile. So it was kind of a shock for me, right? And we had the race riots in the schools and things like that. So it was an adjustment. And I remember we were at this table, and there was this, plate of donuts. And so I said, hey, could you pass me, one of them donuts? And they kind of looked around, and I'm like, the plate is right there. Why they looking around? Because they were bagels. I didn't know what a bagel was. I'm from the hood. I didn't know nothing about no bagel. They was laughing at me, man. But I'm telling you, I was like, oh, okay, I got some come up to do. I had some learning to do. And then through that, process of, from junior high to high school. And once I got into high school, I still had some of my Detroit tendencies. But one of the things was, and Lambo was complimenting me on my attire. But I started learning that because I was taking the time to iron my pants and, putting, some ensembles together and carrying a briefcase in high school, right? Now, I wasn't nerdy because, like, I had nice briefcases. The Loach, I had, like, this is actually when I went to college. I had the Gator bags and the ostrich bags and the Louis bags, that kind of thing. But as, I was in high school, I just had a nice briefcase. But what I was noticing is that the teachers would say, Larry, Brian, Susan, Mr. Murf, without being prompted, Mr. Murf. It wasn't one or two teachers. It was like all of the teachers was like, Mr. Murf. I was like, hey, I like that. And I attribute that to how I carried myself, because any of y'all that met me know that I'm a shorter guy, right? And I was at a primarily white school at the time. And for them to say, Mr. Murf, I'm like, okay. So I found an edge because, here in America, you have, black, short. I had some come up to do, right? So I learned then that was important. And then I'm just checking my notes here because I don't want to ramble. I want to make sure. Charles Wilson was another gentleman that ran the boys club, and he was on our block as well, and someone that looked out for me and just helped, establish some responsibilities. And then, as I was saying, some of that Detroit was still in me, and so I started gravitating back to Detroit, and we had this group, we call them the D Dogs, right? D for Detroit, D Dogs. And just did a lot of the stuff that you hear about Detroit, right? And then in them streets, right? And so I knew that I needed to make some changes. And I remember my father saying to me early on, man, like I was telling you, I was carrying the briefcases. I was, had the nice shoes. Now, I was working paper routes, cutting lawns. My first job was like Burger King. So I was always working though, because I had to earn the money, and then I wanted more money, so I got distracted, but got myself back together. One of the things that I learned through the process early on is about jealousy, and so it was a situation. It was about. It was 8 of us. It was 4 couples. And I had this ring that I had gotten that had, it was called a diamond cut. So it was gold and it had diamond cut on the gold. So when the light hit it a certain way, it would kind of glitter. And I was proud of my ring, And, but at that table, right across, this gentleman had a similar ring, but he had 3 nice size diamonds in there. And I was kind of like taking my ring and sliding it down under the table. And I was saying, right in that moment, I said to myself, so either you're going to work harder to earn those diamonds to put in my ring, or you're going to have to tell yourself that it's not that important. I'm okay with just the fake diamonds, the what do they call it? Diamond cut, right? On the glitter, right? And so I was inspired to work harder. So those type of things. So versus hating on somebody, I'd celebrate them and then allow that to inspire me, right? Because it's all a matter of how we process things. And so I got these 3 diamonds in there, right? And then years go by and got some bigger diamonds, and years go by, I got even some bigger diamonds in there. And so that was one of the things that I had learned early on, and it always stayed with me. And so I ended up, I tell people I did school. I didn't let school do me. So it took me 7 years to graduate from college. And remember, I was saying how when I was in high school, I was carrying a briefcase and I was dressing nice. Well, you had to get up early for that, ironing and so forth, and then getting to school on time. So by the time I got to college, man, I had that Fonzie thing going. I was like, you know what, man, I could just wear some jeans, some loafers, a t-shirt, I'm good. And I did that for a while till this brother started coming to school. He was sharp. That's that ostrich bag I was talking about, the loach. But he had the ostrich bag. He was all sharp. I'm like, man, he's gonna have me step up my game. And so yeah, sure enough, brother had to start dressing again because he was my height. Had that swagger like I know of, and we ended up being really good friends. And I don't know if he gonna see this or not, but he know that I got a few of the ones that he was after. But hey, he made me start dressing again, so that was good. See, again, associations. But I had I ended up getting my bachelor's degree, but it took me 7 years to get it because I was into boating. And so when the spring season would come, and about Michigan, we don't have that nice of weather. So like spring and summer, I would be out there, on the water. And that was kind of my release, right? Because I always worked hard. And so ended up starting 2 businesses before I graduated. And like my first one was a TechCom pest control. So my father had this building, and so he had a building, and you guys know about Orkin and some of these other companies. They would come out and do the monthly maintenance to make sure that, any rodents, things like that we didn't have a problem. Well, periodically, we would still have a problem. And so one of my good friends said, hey, man, you should let me come by and spray. I could take care of that. And now, of course, I'm thinking, bro, we got Orkin. These the big boys. They're advertising on TV. He's like, bro, listen. He said, you don't know what you don't know. He said, now, if you let me come by, I can show you. I said, hey, look, man, if I set this up and my father says, okay, we're going to have you come by, don't embarrass me. Man, he came by, he sprayed. We had no more problems. You hear me? No more problems. So he had the know-how, because if you know anything about me, if there's a roach around me, I'm like, you'll see Murf go off. So I couldn't handle it, but I was enterprising. And so I said, hey, listen, I can fund it. You do the spray and get the crew and so forth. Let's get this thing going. So that was TechCom Pest Control. And then I got into the limousine business, right? Started a limousine company. We had put together, it was called actually Casino Limousine. I was a little bit ahead of my time because Mayor Young, Coleman Young, was looking to get the casinos over in Detroit. Now, I know we have them now, but that was quite a different time. And if you know Coleman Young, they was trying everything they could to keep that brother from getting the casinos. But I named it Casino Limousine. And we had put together these contracts with the hotels to be able to pick up the clients, take them to dinner, and then take them to a concert, these jazz concert series and things like that. And so, listen, I hired the graphic designer. Everything was tight. Looked great. We had the flyers, all of that. So promoting for different, Grover Washington Jr., things like that. And everything was going good till they found out who owned it. And I was like, okay. So, is what it is on that. But that was my first two. And what's interesting though is I'm looking at these professors that are teaching these business classes that never own businesses, right? So be careful where, you get your information. And so I ended up getting into rental properties, and man, and I know there are people that are gun-ho about real estate, and I get it. And I'm just telling you my truth, right? It was a challenge. I mean, people were like, what do you have the audacity to expect me to pay rent? Right? And man, I mean, so rental property, I had an apartment unit, and then man, it just was so much stress. And there's a saying, right? All money isn't good money. And then I was in the gambling. I was just sharing this story. And I can't go into all of the detail, but I used to gamble a lot. Like in high school, they would like I was in the 9th grade, they would tell the seniors, don't gamble with Murphy, take your money. And I would. Man, I was out. Oof. So I was gambling. And then we went, fast forward, well out of high school. Believe I still may have been in college, but we went to New York, and me and some of my partners had rented this limo. We had for 4 days, and so we were going over to Jersey and was going to do some gambling over there. Now, I'm talking stuff in the limo. I'm about to bust. I'm gonna break the house, right? Yeah, okay. So I know I wasn't gonna break the house, but I was planning on winning. So we go to New Jersey and gambling, and did very well. And the gentleman says, the pit boss says, hey, can you fill out this card? And I said, do I have to fill it out, right? Because I don't want to pay no taxes unnecessarily. So he said, no, you don't have to fill it out. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go to walk away. And as I'm walking, this young lady, sister, is walking up, behind me pretty quickly. She's like, sir, sir, sir. And I turn around, never forget her name, Blanche. And this is at Bally's in Atlantic City. So she says, did you fill out the card? And I said, well, the gentleman said that I didn't have to fill out the card. She said, no. If you fill out this card, we can give you free drinks, free room. I was like, oh, wait, hold on. He didn't explain it like that. Man, I filled that card out so quick. And then they said, okay, listen, you come back, 3 days stay, it's on us. And I know what they thinking, hey, he gonna lose his money. And so a good friend of mine, my brother Kent, we went out there now 3-4 months later or whatever. And that was one of my biggest wins throughout, gambling. I mean, I did very well. But then I said, well, if I'm gonna be gambling in New Jersey, Vegas is where it's at. And I had a friend from Southfield, Jewish brother, that his father had some connections out there in Vegas. And so we used to actually go out to Vegas. I don't even think I was. No, I wasn't. I was still in my teens, and we would go out there. And but like year after year, it was a big thing. And I mean, he had us all set up VIP, all of this stuff. But now I'm of age and I'm actually gambling. So I asked him, hey, can you set me up? So he set me up with this gentleman that he dealt with over there. And then they gave me a line of credit. And I remember when I said, I was asking him for a line of credit, he said, he gave me that look. Like, this ain't nothing to be playing with. And I was like, no, I get the rules of the game, So I got a line of credit. And man, I used to go on like a lot, going out there. And I mean, win on thousands of dollars on average. And I used to shop. This is how cocky I was. I used to shop and buy suits before I would gamble because I was like, they're going to pay for it anyway. And I only lost 3 times. It's a true story. I'm thousands ahead in the gambling game. But I don't, okay. The last time I gambled is when I was out in, this is back when I was in San Diego. I know we're going to get to that. But I was in San Diego and got this idea that I wanted to gamble again. I had stopped when I had started these, and I'll get there, but I had stopped. Somehow, once I had moved out to San Diego, I decided I was going to go back and gamble again. That luck, that confidence that I once had, that was out the window, boy. They had a brother hemmed up. And fortunately, I had the wherewithal to go and get this line of credit again, because same guy was there. Never forget him either, Mike Bonfiglio. And he said, hey, well, you know, it's been some time, so we have to run your credit again. Well, I had just got through selling my business, so I was like, okay, hey, no problem. So he did that. And man, got my line of credit. I sit down. And I mean, I was playing like a straight sucker. I'm chasing bets, doubling up. You know, any of my gambling partners out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm messing up. I look up and I'm thousands in the hole. And so I'm like, okay, how do I turn this around? So I had to kind of, you know, chill. Now, normally I'm playing craps. Three that I played was craps, baccarat, and roulette. So I'm at roulette this time. And so I'm sitting there at the table and I'm having this conversation with myself, because losing the type of money I was losing will cause you to do that. So I'm chilling and I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do here? And so I said, all right, let's calm down first and foremost. And this is back when I could drink Remy Martin VSOP, way too heavy for me now, but that's what my drink of choice was then. So I'm sipping on this Remy, and I'm like, okay. So I signed for half of my line of credit. So they bring the chips out, you know, ship in front of me, and I'm sipping and I'm having a conversation with myself. And, you know, I'm noticing, because all of the seats at the table are taken, and, you know, people are starting to, you know, stand behind us, and they're like, well, what's up with my man? He ain't even playing, because, you know, they didn't stop while I'm talking to myself. They kept playing. And the pit boss was like, hey, well, you know, he kind of signaled to him, no, my man's got some thousands that he done lost, so he's contemplating over here. So we're gonna give him a minute. And so I'm talking to myself. I'm like, okay, so you ready? And I'm like, nope. And I said, hey man, take your time. And I sat there for a minute and I said, you know what? If we gonna gamble like Murf gamble, you're gonna need some more money. So I signed for my other half of my line of credit without even placing a bet from the first half that they gave me. So people now they murmuring, and this is and I used to play in tuxedos, fam. So because I used to have some fun with it. I mean, I would dress the part and in my tux and everything. They said, what was it? This is when Bev DeVoe and them was hiding. But they was, you know, trying to figure out who I was, that kind of thing. But so I signed for this other line, and they brought it. And so I'm still kind of getting myself together. And I said, you ready to play now? I was like, now I'm going to show them how Murf gamble. Man, praise God. I was able to battle back, left there, and I got a limited edition Mount Blanc Oscar Wilde pen that ended up getting stole from me when I went to a wedding in Detroit. Somebody pickpocketed it, but I bought it. I bought a Raymond Wild watch, and I bought this black alligator wallet, and that was when I retired from gambling. So hadn't gambled since, and I know I live in Vegas. They probably got me for about $5 in the last several years that I've been here. And so let me get back on track with in Michigan. So I did the rental properties, and you know, I was flying out to Vegas doing some gambling. Then I got into the adult foster care business, and that's where you take care of clients anywhere from 18 to 80. And I had to learn patience, right? And the ideal scenario was that we were helping them transition back to society, right? They had drug and or alcohol problems, and I ended up being the co-founder of the Wayne County Providers Committee, and I was also the treasurer. And we used to go on a monthly basis out to the state capitol out in Lansing and lobby on behalf of the providers there, because they were paying, and this was the argument that I used to make, they were paying less than some kennels were charging per day to take care of dogs. Now we're providing them with food, medication, housing, snacks at night, taking them to their doctor's appointments, taking them on outings, all of this type of stuff. So we're out there constantly lobbying for it. And then some things started happening with health concerns, and then they were putting in different rules and regulations. And I was lobbying on behalf of this, but they weren't listening. And this is, I had got a chance to buy this this building because I had a few of these adult foster cares, and there was a gentleman that my father knew, and he was getting elderly, and he had this 5-story building, and it was only using 3 of the stories, and it was only about 30% occupied, so it was becoming a drain on him instead of profiting from business. And so was able to negotiate a deal. And let me see here. Yep. Was able to negotiate a deal to buy the building. Now I pull up to the building, fam, and I'm in my car and I look up, and the building kind of is going up. Now it's not the first time that I had seen the building, obviously, but it was the first time that I owned the building. And right then, fear set in, and I'm like, uh-oh, I may have overstepped my bounds here. And in that instant, I said, hey, bro, we can't operate like that. So what I did is I moved into the building so that I would know that building top to bottom, live with the residents, and I'll be there Monday through Thursday. And my parents was like, oh man, and because it wasn't the best areas. And so they were concerned, but that was how, because I was taken aback. I was scared, but you can't do good business being scared. So I moved in, got to know the building, got to know the area, and built that business up. And as I was building it up, there was a manager that I had, and he was very helpful in getting the residents in, because we ended up taking it from 30% occupancy to 80% occupancy. And he had a situation where his mother back down south was ill, and he needed to go back to take care of his mother. And I completely understood it. But business-wise, I'm like, oh man, he was so good at getting these clients. So he said, here's what I can do. I can set up a meeting with the person that's been helping getting the residents in here. And I'm like, bet. And so because I wanted to make a good impression, and the connect was real important to maintaining the occupancy. Any of you that know about the Whitney in Michigan, Detroit, this is the old wood baron, name of the Whitney. This is a mansion that they converted into a restaurant with several different rooms. You haven't been, go check it out. It's the deal. So I say, okay, can you set this up so that I can go to meet him at the Whitney, and nice lunch and everything. So he goes, he sets it up. I go to the Whitney for this meeting. And man, like Lambo was saying, kindred spirits, man. We chopping it up, man, getting along great. I'm like, okay, cool. And at the end of the meal, this lady is walking by. So I'm sitting here, she's walking by me, he's sitting here, and she says to him, oh, hello, Reverend Johnson. And immediately I kind of panicked, because y'all remember I'm from the hood. I'm trying to think now, how many curse words right. So I'm trying to process this, and he sees the panic on my face, and he's like, hey, bro, hey, it's all good. Because I had no idea that, this was Reverend Johnson. So in that moment, like my brother and my play brother and my really good friend, on a weekly basis, we used to meet for lunch. And when we met for lunch, and I wasn't disrespectful or anything, but they would go to pray before their lunch. And because I'm a logical person, I'm over there like, you got this religion, that religion, this religion, and they all warn, and all of this stuff, right? Who do you believe? What's right? So I just didn't participate because I wasn't disrespectful or anything, and they knew that. But it was something that didn't set well with me, but it was just where I was at. So when I had this connection with him, I said to myself, I said, well, let me ask. I said, here's a proposal for you. If we can meet on a weekly basis and I feed you physically and you feed me spiritually so that I could grow in that area and at least, get an understanding. And I know we shouldn't talk religion, but I'm with the Lambo fam, and you never know where the show is going to go, right? And I'm trying to help somebody because there may be some logical people out there like me, right? That questions all of this. And not that I'm going to have an answer. I'm going to tell you my truth, my experience, right? So he agreed. He said, but under one condition. And I said, well, what's that? He said, everything I share with you is going to be here in the good book, right? So we're going to go to the good book. We're going to, walk it down. So I'm like, bet. Now, keep in mind, this is at the Whitney, so he's kind of motivated as well, right? So we're meeting on a weekly basis, and this goes on for months. And I'm asking him all of these questions, and he's kind of walking me through it. And then I, kind of gravitate to his church because I don't know, months had gone by, and I said, how come you had never invited me to your church? And he said, because I figured when you were ready to go, you would say something. Hey, listen, fam, just so y'all know, I don't have the skills like Lambo and Coach, and I can't read that stuff and tell my story. I'll get distracted. Not to say that.
You good. You doing your thing, Murph. We right here with you, baby.
Okay. So if there's anything I need to respond to, Lambo,
you ain't got nothing, brother. We loving on you. The comments is coming through. Do your thing, Murph. Everybody's
cool. So, because boy, y'all let it break. I already told y'all I'm gonna need blue sky to get me back on track if I deviate. So I know I can't read walk and chew bubblegum, right? So he said, I figured you'd let me know when you were ready to come. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I'd like to do that, right? So go to his church, and it's in a interesting area, let's put it that way. And it's a smaller church, and but man, listen. The guy that I'm having lunch with gets in that pulpit, that spirit hitting, and he going to preaching. It's like, wow, man, it's just totally different. And I'm like, okay. So I'm checking this all out, and some time goes by, and I'm in a position to contribute. So I contribute and helping with different things, and some more time goes by, and I never got comfortable with the environment, right? When I say the environment, leaving outside and head on swivel. So I'm like, hey, I appreciate the message and all of that, but there's some other churches I'm sure I could go to where my head don't have to be on swivel. I'm just being 100 with y'all, right? Hey, so again, my truth. Don't judge. I'm being honest. So I go to this other church, huge church, and I'm connecting and vibing, and everything is good. And we're still, we meet and we're doing our thing, and I'm feeling good. And so I go to Ohio. Let me make sure I'm staying on track. Okay, so I sell the so I sell the business, right? Sell the adult foster care, and I'm don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but I sold the business because I built it up and had nice profit. And so I'm like, all right. And I took a little breather. We going out to Ohio, and we go to forget what area of Ohio. It may have been Columbus, and there's a place called BW3. That's what they called them at the time. And so we go in. Man, this place is off the hook. We in there, man. The music is popping. They got these screens everywhere. I mean, the wings is the bomb. I'm like, oh man, okay. So we drive back. Good time. About 4-5 months go by. We go back. He's going to visit his mother out in Ohio. Friend, close friend of mine. And so we go out. We go to a different BW3. This place is on jam too. It's popping. I'm like, man. I'm like, on the drive back, we need to do one of these in Michigan. So he's like, bet. But they're not cheap. And I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'm pretty good with some finances. Let me, work this thing out. So we go through the process of getting the restaurant established in East Lansing. And so there's different, and forgive me for the not knowing the different steps. We went to the planning committee, and the planning committee said, oh, no, we don't need any more bars or restaurants. We're good. And I'm like, okay, what's the next step? Well, we said no, but you can go to the zoning committee, but they're gonna look to see what we said, and it's doubtful, and you have to pay to get in front of them, and it's non-refundable. And I'm like, okay, but that's the next step, right? They said, yeah. So we go there, pitch the plan, and they say no. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's the next step? Well, the planning committee said no. The zoning, we said no. You can go to the city council, but they're gonna look, to see what we said. And so I go to the city council and we pitch the, Ohio. I see that. We pitched the plan, and they say no. But there's a gentleman by the name of Lou Eyed, and Lou Eyed is watching, unbeknownst to us. We had no idea, but he likes the resilience. Now, Lou Eyed happens to own several properties all throughout that East Lansing area, big time, Eyed Company, big time, and request a meeting. So go and meet with them. Says, I like your tenacity, if you will, hard head. so and he's like, I got a space, and I think we should be able to make this happen. And I said, well, they said no, and they said no. And he kind of, laughed, if you will, because it's Lou Eyed. But if I would have given up at that first no, or that second no, or that third no, I wouldn't have got the attention of a Lou Eyed, which, again, I had no idea. But I was also working with a group called Grubb and Ellis. You know about real estate and things like that. Grubb and Ellis, big time. And so they were helping, making sure that, we had the negotiation right. So he had a 10,000 square foot location. Fast forward, we got it approved. 10,000 square foot location. I tell Buffalo Wild Wings, we want to do a 10,000 square foot location. They're like, oh, no. That's like twice the size of, our footprint. And I'm like, bro, we right across the street from Michigan State University. I need space. And he's like, no, president won't allow us to have this 10,000 square feet. So I'm like, okay, check this out. I hear your concerns. Let's do this. Let's do 6,500, right? This will still be the biggest that they had in their chain. 6,500 with the 6-month first right of refusal, because I didn't want to lose that space, with the 6-month first right of refusal, so that I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Within 4 months, we were under construction to open up that other square footage so that we have 10,000 square foot. And when we opened up, we had the Michigan State Band come marching into the place. Man, I wish the cell phones was readily available with the filming like now. But man, we did the doggone thing, man. They was in there, man. I get goosebumps even thinking about it. They came marching in there, and we had these fake styrofoam bricks that once they got in there, we had a knock the wall down party. We hit the styrofoam stuff that opened up this whole other space that we had, 10,000 square foot, fam. And we were just the hottest things. How people were waiting in lines to get in. And y'all know about Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, and then you're on the college campus. So that's a recipe for success. And so from there, expanded over to Southfield, again, where I was from, right? Because this was over in East Lansing. So then we did 11,000 square foot over in East Lansing. They didn't have any problem with us then, right? So 11,000 square feet. So we got 2 locations going. 120 employees between, you know, the 2 locations. I always tell people that's why I'm bored to this day, because man, you talking about some stress. That was stressful. But the straw that broke the camel's back. So I got the location over in East Lansing running smooth, no problem. Location in Southfield, suburban area of Detroit, having some challenges, some punctuality challenges. And so I go to my manager. I'm like, hey, listen, we have a policy. When they're late, you give them a verbal. When they're late again, you write them up. And when they're late the 3rd time, we're going to need to let them go. I said, Mr. Murf, if we did that, we wouldn't have any employees. I said, it's because you're not doing that we're having this tardiness problem. Are you forgetting that I have a location over in East Lansing and we're not having this problem because they're enforcing the rules, and I need you to enforce the rules? Now, fam, I don't know to this day if they set me up or what, but this is what happened. My manager comes and gets me, said, Mr. Murf, you said the next time somebody's late, let you know. So I go out here. I'll see this guy, Mark, never forget, because I'm show my manager, you know, how it's done. And so I said, hey, listen, Mark, just like when your shift is over and you need that person to be here to relieve you so you can go about your business, we need you to be here on time to relieve that person. So we're going to give you a verbal now, but if you're late again, you know, we're going to have to write you up. And without missing a beat, Mark said, can you write me up today? Because I'm going to be late tomorrow. Fam, I had millions of dollars, over $1 million, let me say it that way, over $1 million between the 2 places. And that's when it hit me that he just articulated what all these other employees are already thinking, let alone the theft, the dealing with the bartenders, the spoilage, all of that stuff. Now, look, if you're in the restaurant business, hey, God bless you. If it works for you, it works for you. I get it. I'm telling you my truth. But when he said that, I'm like, Murf, you need to sell and sell quick, because he just articulated what the rest of them are thinking. And you got all this money tied up. They can go down the street, get a job anywhere. So I'm like, man. So that's what, with the impetus or the straw that broke the camel's back, I'm like, I need to sell, and ended up selling. And from there, moved out to San Diego, got involved into the IT industry. I'm a Microsoft engineer and Microsoft certified trainer. And let me do this. So I'm making sure I'm on the right. Man, I'm doing good. Went by my notes there. And so, yeah, so we had the 2 largest.
Feeling it right now, Murf. Go ahead, do your thing, brother.
In fact, stay with me, Lambo, because before I go to San Diego on this, I just want to make sure if there's any comments or any questions. But We had the 2 largest in the chain nationally, 2 of the top 5 grossing. There were Buffalo Wild Wings before we ended up selling. So let me throw it to, oh, you know what? Now, I didn't need to tell you about this off-duty police right here. So in East Lansing, we had like the bars that were there in East Lansing. Of course, you're concerned about underage drinking because of the college students. And so what the bars used to do is hire the off-duty police officers to ID the people as they were coming in. We like, bet, that's a great solution. Except for the only Black-owned restaurants there, for some reason, they didn't have any police officers available for us. But when we sold, they had off-duty police officers available. I skipped over the city council members that said, what y'all doing to them, because they put rules in place that weren't there before or after. They said, what y'all doing is racist. And these are, my lighter skin pigmentation brothers and sisters on the council that were saying that. And they came to me and they said, Mr. Murf, the news, Mr. Murf, they're saying that, this is racist. What do you think? And so I said, well, I think that their concerns are valid concerns. And we have laid out how we're going to address those concerns. And we are not one that want underage drinking. And we talked about, the history with Buffalo Wild Wings, and we don't have a history of that, blah, blah, blah. But of course, that's not what they thought I was going to be. They thought I was going to be like, yeah, but hey, come on now. But that was that. And yep, I had my late story, so I'm good. Lambo, I miss anything in the chat?
In the chat, brother, no, everybody has already been showing you so much love because your story, your testimony, man, of being able to go from, I'm talking about trial to triumph, is that story that a lot of people they can't wait to hear. They want to know the backstory of, wow, you know what? Murf did get to a point where he had that moment. We call that, man, that aha moment. You understand? Where you realize and everything, man, hey, I needed everything, man, more purpose. God, what are you doing? You're opening up doors. You're bringing me into something new. I need that. And hearing your story, to go sit down with the pastor in the Whitney, and you're not even knowing this, but allowing that to be a part of your journey. And I think so much of us in this life, Murf, we have that journey, right? And we try to unpack it in front of people. To be able to come to this platform in this stage and share this is so amazing for us, Murf. So we want to hear more. We are intrigued to hear more because your journey is just, dude, it gets more better, y'all. Y'all just got to wait up even more. Y'all want to
I'm going to show some pictures too, fam. So hold on for a second. So I was telling the story and I was setting up the meeting with Reverend Johnson I was telling you about, and I was going to church on a weekly basis, on a consistent basis, and I was seeking that knowledge. Where Larry at? So seeker of knowledge. I was seeker of knowledge, Larry. So now check this out. So while the restaurant in East Lansing was being built, it was in the lower level initially, and they had to run the exhaust from the lower level all the way up to the upper, to the roof of this building. It was a multi-story building. And so it caught us off guard with some of the things that they were going to need. And there was about a 3-week period that it was going to take before it could get shipped, get installed. And we were kind of at a point where there wasn't a whole lot for me to do at that time other than them doing the construction. So I said, listen, I'm going to be in California. I went out to hang out with my play brother out in California. And my real brother, Rodney, was living out in San Diego. So I'm going to LA to hang out. And then we, this is, I'm telling him myself, this Arsenio Hall had his show and he was going to this church out there. I can't think of the name of the church, but the first weekend I was there, we were going to go and, to that same church where Arsenio was. And so we ended up hanging out too late Saturday. And we didn't get a chance to go to church on Sunday. So then we go to San Diego. We drive from LA to San Diego to hang out with my brother out there in San Diego. Mm-hmm. And we're going to come back Sunday and go to the second service. Mm. We didn't make it back to LA in time to go to that second service. So we drive in, and I'm like, man, that's 2 weeks in a row. And I had been doing so good. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I hate that we didn't make it to church. And he says to me, he says, actually, right up the street, there's a little brown church. And he said, I need to get some gas. I can drop you off at the little brown church, and you can just walk right down the street to the gas station, when you're done. And I'm like, bet. And now understand, a lot of people turn to the Lord when things are bad. Yeah. Lord, help me, please. Lord, help me. But I'm on the precipice of opening, this restaurant. I'm just feeling, blessed. Yeah. And I want to, be in union. And so he drops me off. Now, any of y'all from LA, y'all know what I'm talking about with the little brown church. Now, times have changed, but the little brown church used to be open 24 hours a day. I was telling this story about 3 years ago, and that didn't even sound right to me, that a church was open. Doors was, you just walk on in, to the point where I'm like, I got to look that up. And sure enough, it used to be open 24 hours a day. Because I was like, I know what happened, but let me just check, right? So nobody's there. I'm by myself. I walk in, go to the altar. I kneel down. I just want to give thanks and praise. Man, the Spirit hit me. And when I tell you I'm one of them logical people, the Lord knew what they were doing with me. Because, listen, I was seeking that knowledge. I was knocking. And they say the door will be open. This is why I'm telling you this story.
Say that again. You were seeking that knowledge. Larry's right here in the building, man. Seeker of knowledge.
Yes, I was seeking that knowledge, and my heart was right. And so, it's like I hear people say, the Lord told me this, the Lord told me that, or I see people at church and they may get the Spirit and so forth. I never have had any of that. Who am I to question their relationship with the Lord? Yeah. But again, remember, I'm that logical thinker. But when that Spirit hit me and I couldn't get up, I could not get up until that Spirit let me go. Then I couldn't walk to get to the door.
Come on now, Murf.
I'm staggering, trying to get to the door. I'm like, man, what part of the game is this? I'm trying to shake this off. And y'all know me, I try to move with some, some smoothness, right? All that was gone. Man, I stagger myself to the door. I'm still trying to get my composure because I got to walk down the street to the gas station.
Yep.
I'm walking down the street, man. I can't stop crying. Tears of joy. I'm wiping, trying to get my cool together. Can't do it. My brother's in the not my play brother. He's in the gas station. I sit in the driver's seat. In the passenger seat. When he comes back to get in that driver's seat, look, I'm still boo-hooing. I'm trying to be cool. I can't shake it. My brother, he get in the car, he talking, he's like, yeah, man, and he took that double take. He looking at me like he looking around, he thinking somebody trying to jack me or something. I'm like, man, I said the Spirit got me, and he was like, bro, just enjoy it, let it go. And I boo-hooed, and I share that because different people have different relationships, with the Lord. And for me, I was so glad that I had taken the time to at least be seeking, right? And so I just want to share that with you because that ended up being a foundation for me. Because in life, we're going to have those ups and downs. Believe that. And so here, I'm going to do a little storytelling for us. I'm going to show some pictures for us here.
Oh, my guy Murph, my guy Murph. Let's go. Let's go.
Bear with me now, fam. All right.
Boom.
Let me see if I can get this right. I got to look on the other side of this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, boom. And then boom. And then boom, right? Okay, I think we good. All right. Boom. All right, you see the screen?
We can see it, Murph. We can see it.
All right. So this is you know, I got exposed to traveling early on, and this is my first cruise ever. And I met this young lady on the cruise, and we're holding a trophy because we won the best the dance contest, right? This is being exposed to Hawaii early on, and that's my brother that you see there, and that's his girlfriend that ended up, that's Joy, and her brother Leroy Johnson is the gentleman that I was telling you about that I was blessed to get that mentoring from. And then that's my mother there, and of course that's me there. And so this is the judge I was telling you about, Judge Alex Allen. And they were saying, and this is where I found out that he ended up being the chief judge there at the Wayne County. And he was somebody that, and I didn't find a picture of him, but remember the Huxtables? So this is Dr. Edwards, Dr. and Dr. Edwards, Billy Edwards, and Rupert Edwards. And he was from Africa. And this brother, he still had an accent and everything, but he was going to, you know, learn what he needed to do to have that success. In fact, they had a swimming pool, and I should have learned this about my mother then. They had a swimming pool, and something had happened, and they didn't let me go to the swimming pool. My mother built our own swimming pool. You hear me? Moms didn't play. But now this is him, their son, Rob Edwards, and we're in LA. Now, Rob Edwards went on to be responsible for like 5 different hits, like with, what was it? I'm drawing a blank, but Different World, the Cosby Show, all of those different things. He was working with that production. And so this is Leroy Johnson. This is the gentleman from Xerox, and his sister Joy that I just showed you. She sent me some of the articles that they had did on him. This brother, and like I said, and this is back in the day, and he was like, they have his name there. This is a good friend of mine that just taught me a lot coming up. I was telling you, was the limousine business. And this is just some of the fellas, and you know, we clowning. Now this is us in where is that? Every year we used to go to the Caravana festivals, and so we used to rent the limo out there, and you know, just man, the Caravana festivals was a lot of fun. That's my my business partner that I was telling you. We went out to Ohio, business partner, and still best of friends to this day, and that speaks volumes. If you know anything about having business partners, it can be a challenge to keep that relationship. But to this day, still best of friends. And we had the drop top Benzes there. And this is the jackets that we did that we had made up for the first Buffalo Wild Wings that we did. And this was called our Spartan Room, where we would, you know, different celebrities, things like that could come in and have their private area. And so we're in there celebrating with our managers, and we gave all of the managers those jackets. And of course, I still, you know, have my jacket today. And this is them interviewing us on the field out there at Michigan State University with the mascot. This is the softball team that we sponsored. This is the legendary Mayor Coleman Young. And if you know anything about Coleman Young, that was the man in Detroit. And then this is Dennis Archer, Mayor Dennis Archer, that came afterwards. And I don't have Kwame Kilpatrick. I had left by then, and Kwame ran into some legal problems. But man, he said a quote that was so apropos. He said, "Sometimes your talents will take you to places that your character is not ready to go." Sometimes your talents will take you to places that your character is not ready to go. And I said, man, that was, it was so apropos for what happened to that brother. Any of y'all know Kwame Kilpatrick? That's a smooth brother. You talking about, I mean, a gift. That brother, he can talk, okay? And he was able to make some things happen. But like he said, sometimes your talents will take you to places that your character. There you go. All right, I feel you. Thank you. Good friend of mine out in Michigan, and as I was again preparing for this, now he's man, his business does multiple millions. It's my brother Kent out there in Michigan. He does a EAP business. In fact, we were just celebrating 2 days ago. He just landed this huge contract, and a lot of success. And so for those of you that for Christmas, right, to do the trees and decorate and everything, by the time I came along, because remember I said my parents had 4 children, I was the baby boy. My mother would, in essence, just like kind of decorate a table. We got away from the tree and everything, and that kind of carried over. So this was always be celebrating of my that was my baby grand mirror. Oh, and fam, if anybody know where I can get this baby grand mirrored cocktail table, I hadn't seen one before or since. But that's how I used to put my gifts and things like that on the table. And this is one of the close friends that I had at the time, and this is my brother. We that I was saying that was in San Diego. So by the time I got into the restaurant business, he had moved out to San Diego. And then this is another Christmas with some gifts. And then this is us out in Hawaii. In fact, the young lady on the right there, she's wearing all of the gifts from here. I got her from head to toe, from the shoes, all of that stuff. And so we was out there hanging out in Hawaii, having a good time. This is out in Rio. Now, fellas, now my brother's 3 years older than me. We go to Rio, and in his wisdom, we decided to take our lady friends. Now, I need not tell you. So let me tell anybody that's single that has not gone to Rio, that's not the best place to go and be taking your girlfriend. Now, look, if y'all gonna get married and all that, that's a whole nother thing. But my older brother was supposed to know better. We go out there. In fact, that's him on the left. And that's her cousin on the right that's with me. They were actually cousins. And but we went to Rio, had a great time. And this is a young Will Smith. And that's my play brother that I was saying we met every week. And he was doing different plays and things like that out in LA. When I was telling you I was out there for like 3 weeks, that's a young Will Smith. This is Alonzo. Now, any of my LA folk, y'all remember when he used to have his club, his nightclub. We're out there hanging out at his nightclub. And then this is Kim Wayne's from the Wayne family from In Living Color. And so we're hanging out. She's actually wearing my jacket there that night. And then this is LL Cool J. I'm there with my brother there. This is Andre Agassi, Junior Seau from over there in San Diego. This is actually, that was my trademark there, our logo, that T and the M, Tim and Murf, for the Buffalo Wild Wings. And then that's, I'm drawing the blank. I was at his wedding, Allen Houston. And then this is Jim Brown. Now, we at Jim Brown's house. And if you know about the balcony and everything, I'll leave that story for those of us that know. But I'm there at Jim Brown's house hanging out. This is The Rock when he had his show. That's the legendary Barry Sanders there with my business partner. Like I said, that we did the Buffalo Wild Wings with hanging out with Heavy D. Magic Johnson used to come into the place all of the time. Ooh, I got a Lambo. You got to remind me to tell you about the limo story with Johnson. But
you know we gonna be on it, man.
For real. But Magic Johnson was in there, and this is we were hanging out at the Image Awards, and
this not Patty, right?
Yeah, that's Patti LaBelle, and
tell me to go back up.
Sugar Ray Leonard. I remember Jack K. That's Kevin Duckworth from the NBA. That's Benson. And my partner over there on the left, that's Mike Turner from people in Detroit. Y'all know, you may know his father was real big in the unions and everything. And we're hanging out in LA. This is Ray Tolbert. And he was my neighbor in, we were over on 10 Mile at the time. And me and him used to hang out. In fact, this is when Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson were still cool then, and they used to do these black tie events, and so we used to go there. This is Greg Mathis, and we used to hang out. In fact, I'll share something a little later that he happened to be on a vessel of mine, but that's Greg Mathis. In fact, this is at the opening of the Southfield location for the Buffalo Wild Wings. Then this is out in Hawaii, rented Jeep. This is actually Magnum PI's Ferrari, the company that I rented this from. Every year they used to get the Ferraris from them. And then that's the legendary Wynton Marsalis. And I was hanging out in a at this bar in Hawaii. And so he playing on stage. And he says from the microphone, he says, "Man, that's the sharpest brother in the room." He comes over.
What? Listen, you've been like that. You've been in Habit Cider for years, man. So you know we ain't lying, man.
So he comes over, man, and we get to rapping and find out some people that we know. And he let me hold his horn. So any of you horn players, y'all know that that's a thing, right? So I was just privileged to do that. I ended up hanging out because he didn't have some of the same bad habits that I had, but some of his band members did. And we ended up hanging into the wee hours. And then this is front row with Prince. And this is the first boat. Remember I said I was in the boating?
Yep.
And literally, I used to go to college with this on the hitch. I had a B2000. They used to pull this around because I would leave from college and go there. And then this is the second boat that I had. And then this one of the young ladies that used to hang out there a lot. This is the Scarab. This is the third boat I had. And then this is where it all kind of came to a head. This is the yacht that I had. And this is interesting. So, talk about money. They say money is the root of all evil, but it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. Because you can do some nice things when you got some money. But I'm not even talking about getting the yacht. That was, big accomplishment for me. But the timing was that it was right around when my mother's birthday was, and I named the vessel after her. And so it was important that I get that Lowenstein that you see there that's in this gold foil, and the best company to do it, they were backed up for 6 months. And I was able to persuade him that he needed to adjust some scheduling because, I was in a position to be able to do that. And fortunately, he got her name on it for me. And so that she was there and, and it was a surprise for her. And then every room that was there, I had gifts for her. And that was her best friend that's right there. In fact, so her best friend, her daughter, is married to Judge Mathis. And so they have the flowers there, as you can see. And so her best friend was there to experience it. And that's her with her flowers and all of her gifts. And that was that was a highlight right there, right? It was like all of the work because I used to live on it because it was my getaway, right? And man, dealing with all of that stress, you have to have some type of outlet. And then from there, and like I told y'all, I ended up selling and moved out to San Diego. And those are my partners that helped me get out there. And we packed up the vehicle, the budget, and moved from Michigan all the way over to San Diego. And I will stop the share there so I'll stay on track. And then I got a little something for y'all once I come back. Boom. Let me see if I can get this Lambo. Boom. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Okay, so San Diego. So start off there, get a apartment, and I don't know exactly what I'm going to do because I want to earn six figures, but I don't want to have any employees, and because I had already gone through that, right? And so not sure what I want to do, but at the time, Microsoft was the big thing. And I ended up getting my Microsoft certified systems engineer, got a position as an engineer. And then one of the talents that I have, or I like to think that I have, is that I can take the difficult and make it understandable or make it simple. And I found out that they pay the technical teachers quite a bit. So I ended up getting my Microsoft certified trainer certification. And so I was working during the day as an engineer from 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. Now, let me repeat that. 6 in the morning is when I had to be there. I wasn't waking up at 6. I had to be there at 6 in the morning, and then I would work till 2 in the afternoon. And then I would leave from there and go to a park in San Diego and take a nap because from 4 nights a week, from 5 to 10, I was teaching over at National University. In fact, I was the guy that brought the MCSE certification to National University. I pitched them. So I was like, hey, listen, it's easier for you guys to be able to get the funding for like student loans and things like that. I have the skill set because I had been teaching at another location. And I said, hey, I can, teach this. And there's a brother that was there that liked the idea, helped me get it done. And so I was working from 6 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, teaching 4 nights a week from 5 to 10. So got back to the six figures without having to have any employees. And I was the employee. So ended up building my house from the ground up and was able to select the different things that I wanted. And that left me with the money that I wanted, but I didn't have the lifestyle that I wanted, right? Because I was just living to work. And that was my wake up call. And I can't think of the name of the movie. And when I did the test run, the sound wasn't right for us. And I normally would show the clip during my trainings because it was with George Clooney. I think it's called Up in the Air. George Clooney was, flying around, firing different people, and they were showing the reactions. It's actually kind of comical, but when I would show that during my trainings, people would inevitably start crying because either they remember that happening to them or they were concerned about it happening. But I always had to allow for the tears that would be shed after showing the clip. And that wasn't my intention to have them crying. My intention was to wake them up because my wake up call came when I went in for my annual review and they said, Murf, 25 is the highest you could score, and you scored a 25. Now, I was happy to hear that, right? Sense of job security. I wasn't surprised because y'all know I used to run businesses. Now, I didn't have the stress. All I had to do was show up on time and do that. Man, I was showing up to work like zippity-doo-dah, man. I could do that with my eyes closed. I had a great attitude. But what I wasn't ready for was 3 months after getting that resounding 25, as high as you can get, and you got 25. 3 months later, I got laid off. Had, mortgages to pay, all of that. And I was like, ooh, this is not a good program. I forgot about that. I'm thinking if I'm doing a good job, I should be good. They said I was doing a good job. But the problem is anytime you're putting your best interest at somebody else's hands, that's risky. And so that was my wake-up call. I said, man, I got to figure something else out. And in that clip, Clooney asked this gentleman, he said, how much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams? how much did they first pay you to give up on your dreams? That's where I would start from when I would pick up after the clip. And, you know, a lot of people have the dreams, but they're scared to execute. And you have to execute, and you have to be intentional about executing. And so I want to share this with you. Let me see here. Boom, boom. Good stuff. Okay, good stuff. All right, boom. Let me go here. Go here. Go here. Getting the hang of this now, Lambo. Go here. And where is that at? Boom, boom, boom. Was that the right one? Boom. I hope that's the right one. And share. How we doing, Lambo? Can you see it?
Brother, we can see it. We can see it. You're doing your thing, brother.
Cool,
Robert
cool.
Kiyosaki. Let's rock and roll, baby. Murph, you're doing great.
Thank you, my brother. So fam, one of the things I'm known for is a 4-hour course, and don't panic. This ain't gonna hardly be no 4 hours. We're about to wrap, as a matter of fact.
No, hold on. You don't want your 4 hours or 5 hours or 6 hours or 8 hours?
No, that's why I told you, brother, I was making notes, because, man, I could get to rambling, and I don't want to do that. I want to be respectful of everybody's time, but I also want people to, again, learn and just kind of reiterate, because I know we got so many leaders here. I mean, you know, I was listening to, you know, brother Hazel's story, and, you know, when he had to close the karate studios, and you know, brother Franco, when he was, you know, talking about the ups and downs. Look, anybody that tells you that their story is just, you know, got better, who wants to, you know, see that movie, right? You're gonna pay for that. Any movie you like is because people went through ups and downs, you know, overcame some adversities. And please don't take this as, you know, not having some downs, because look, I didn't want to have to sell, but that was the right thing to do. Sometimes, you know, I said before, you know, all money isn't good money. And stress, man, it's the thing about stress. Stress kills. And so all the money in the world ain't worth a damn if you ain't around to enjoy it. And I knew that was going to take a toll on me. And so I had to just say, hey, that's not going to work. And then I had my wake-up call, because I thought I had the answer, but I had to pivot again. I had to start looking. And, man, this cash flow quadrant, if you haven't read the book, read the book. Now, many of you know Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a very popular book. But cash flow quadrants, man, listen. You know, there's a saying, you don't know what you don't know. But if you know better, you should do better. If you know better, you should do better. So when I teach that 4-hour class, I'm like, hey, look, I didn't know. But nobody in this room is able to leave and say that you didn't know. Because if you didn't know, now you know. So let's take a look. On the left side here, the left side of the quadrant is where most people live. And that's, you know, they are an employee. And then, you know, they say they get the bright idea that they're going to be self-employed, right? Many of us do that. But big business is where you want to be. And big business, as he defines, is over 500 employees. And then you want to become an investor. Now, I didn't know all of this, but I lived it. I read it. I watched others live it. And now I'm living it. So listen, when I tell you, I can tell you unequivocally. That's how I do it when I'm in class, right? I tell them unequivocally, because it get their attention. I don't want to get your attention, wake you up if you may be asleep. I can tell you, read the book, apply the principles, because this is real deal. So most people start with the employees. We already know how that's going to turn out. It's an adversarial relationship at its core. I do a thing called Business 101. Listen, the employer is paying you just enough so you don't quit. And the employee is working just hard enough so that they don't get fired. That's an adversarial relationship at its core. Just like I said, I knew I was doing a good job and they told me I was doing a good job. If their bottom line doesn't allow for them to pay those employees, you think that they're going to close the business? No, they're going to let the employees go. So that's an adversarial relationship. Preach. Come on now. All right, get emotional thinking about that stuff. All right, I'm going to get that.
Woosah. I got the bell for you.
Woosah. So then, self-employed. Well, I told you how the self-employed work. It's a challenge. So you want to get into big business. And it's interesting because, I was listening to BOJ the other day, talking about, how he was pivoting. And one way to do that is to be into the network marketing space. Now, some of you may be saying network marketing, scam, pyramid. And in my ignorance, see, I'm not going to call y'all ignorant, right? But in my ignorance, I was like, scam and, pyramid and, the Amway days and all of that. There's a video that a gentleman by the name of Tim Sales put out. It was called Brilliant Compensation. Brilliant Compensation. Now, it's a little dated now, but the principles were undeniable. And I'm a logical person. Remember that? I'm logical. And everything that he was saying, I'm like, oh, this right here, he telling the truth. And so fast forward, I mentioned that I had moved to San Diego. Well, when I got into San Diego and I'm looking for something, I gotten introduced to the network marketing space. And one thing after another, I'm sure many of you know who Eric Worre is. And I had the pleasure of befriending one of many mentors that I've had through this space, gentleman that makes well over, 600,000. In fact, I was just with him last night. We did sushi together. But me and him were invited, and this is before Eric Worre had built the mega place that he has here in Vegas. He had a penthouse right on the strip in Vegas. So we're sitting on the rooftop. There's cigars, and we're drinking wine and just chopping it up. And don't get it twisted. Yeah, I was I was enjoying those conversations. For those of you who know Eric Worre is, and so we mentioned Tim Sales because I was thanking Mr. Worre and his GoPro, another GoPro, and Eric Worre. I mean, what he did was he helped legitimize for those of us that think we know what we think we know. And I was saying how Tim Sales had did it for me with that brilliant compensation. And he said, well, if you like that, I'm coming out with something that you're going to love. And I was like, oh, okay. I took it for, what it was worth. But I thought, that was a pretty bold statement until I watched what he dropped. Google, oh, snap. I thought I would just know it right at the top of my head. Damn, so I may have to rely on the family to put it in the chat. It is called, what is it called, Murf? Come on. Oh man, y'all supposed to know that one.
Tongue tied now, Murf.
I know. Hold on, man.
We gotta come back to it. We got it, man.
All right, because I want y'all to peep it. Dang, Murf, I'm drawing a blank, but okay, I'll peep it and come back.
Yep.
But when he dropped it, people had to pay to view it, and it just modernized everything. It's like you watch that, and it's like, oh. Everything about it made sense. I see you over there, Coach. Dang, I can't think of the name of that. I know. Okay. Rise of the Entrepreneur. Rise of the Entrepreneur. Rise of the Entrepreneur.
And
who is that by?
Who is that by?
That is by Eric Worre, Mr. GoPro. Rise of the Entrepreneur. Man, you watch that? Listen, trust me. Look, I ain't got to try and convince you, but you watch that. It's hard to argue anything that's in there. And that's the best way, in my opinion, for most people to get into that third quadrant on the top right, because that's where the wealthy live, on the right-hand side. And so that allows for you to be able to reduce your expenditures, reduce your costs, but build a business with over 500 business partners nationwide, because they're not working for you, they're working with you. In fact, this is Robert Kiyosaki saying, job security is a myth. It is also risky for self-employed people, in my opinion, mine too, because if they get sick, injured, die, their income is directly impacted. And so I had the privilege of getting introduced to Prepaid Legal, which is now Legal Shield. And this is me with the founder, the late, great Harlan C. Stonecipher. And his quote was always, the person who wins the most through this transaction is the person that we empower with our membership. And because what he was providing is something that I felt everyone needed, and especially every business owner. Because when I was, I told y'all about Grubb and Ellis is who I was working with that helped me negotiate the lease agreement and so forth, top notch. My attorneys back then, I was paying $450 an hour for. And let me tell you why. Because I saw what happens when you have a $450 an hour attorney and $150 an hour an attorney. Because we used to get in them conference rooms and my attorney in short order would start telling that other attorney what they were going to do. And the other attorney knew he wasn't as sharp as that $450 attorney, but he's still getting paid by his client. So he had to act like he knew what he was doing. So he just went along with the program. Come on now, I'm trying to tell you something here, fam. Whew, I'm getting goosebumps listening to myself. Oh, watch out.
You gotta watch yourself. Hit the bell.
So I told y'all about Business 101, right? And the thing that helped me as I was getting into the network marketing, and because, you know, inevitably it sells, right? And one of the big proponents of that is personal development, because you got to become more in order to get more. You've got to become more in order to get more. And so people, man, look, you hear the stories. They win the lottery and they broke. Y'all know the deal, because they got the money, but they didn't know how to handle the money because they hadn't spent any time working on themselves. So we've got to all, and that's, bro, this show, oh, this is personal development. Because when you see other people that are winning, it brings out the best in you. So let me tell my six-pack story. So I pull up to pick up a guest of mine, and they say, you know, those that you pick up show up unless they dark house you, right? You go to pick them up, you see the curtains moving, and you ring the doorbell, they don't want to answer the door. That's a bad feeling. But man, I pulled up, my man came out sharp. I mean, sharp. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, you beat Murf? I got to ask this question. Did he
have me beat? He didn't have me beat, but he was sharp. Okay, come on now. There's different levels to the game. Where my man Deloach at? He could tell you. So he was sharp. I took him to the event, right? Briefing. The person that was presenting the information knocked it out of the park. I turned to my man with all this confidence. I said, hey, you see an opportunity for yourself? And he said, look, I'm going to be candid with you, bro. As long as I can pay my rent and get a six-pack of beer, I'm good. Now, listen, fam. He has every right to be who he is. I'm not saying he's right, I'm wrong, or vice versa. Because everybody deserves to live their life the way that they want to live it. But in that moment, that helped me so much. And I'm hoping I'm helping some of y'all, because I couldn't even process that kind of thinking. But it helped me realize there are people that think like that. So in the moment, I'm like, I'm telling y'all, it was like I got lightheaded. I was staggered for a second, because what does it say? The video didn't match the audio. The brother looked sharp. That would not be a statement I would expect coming out of his mouth, looking like he was looking. So the video wasn't matching the audio, or the audio wasn't matching the video. So I got myself together and I shook his hand sincerely, because it was a learning moment for me. So I reached out to shake his hand, like, man, thank you. One, I did appreciate his candor. Ain't no sense in playing games. You know how them people be coming out, call me next week, call me next week, call me. Yeah, man, I was so sincere. I was like, thank you. Thank you. Took him home, dropped him off. And here's what I want you to understand. You could be the best presenter, the best salesperson, everything. That's not the person you're looking for. So don't beat yourself up talking about, oh, this ain't work. No, you're looking for the people that's looking. You're looking for the people that's looking. Man, that was a learning one. And then the journal. So many of you know who Jeff Olson is. He wrote The Slight Edge. Hell of a book. Then it got redone under a different name by Darren Harding, which is the same principles. I can't remember Darren Harding's book, but The Slight Edge was the first of that. So Jeff Olson, the last Legal Shield event that he did before he went and started this other company, he was doing the event for me. And many of you know Mr. Darnell Self. And, you know, I can't say enough about that gentleman, Mr. Darnell Self. It was just interesting is that Lambo, you know, not in that network marketing space, I mentioned Darnell Self, my mentor's name, and Lambo lights up. Man. And he's like him and his wife, Tracy. And, you know, and I told Lambo, I was like, man, it's so good to be able to have that kind of reaction out of people. And prayerfully, when, you know, my name is mentioned, they be like, oh, that's a good brother. Hopefully. Because that's damn sure how Lambo came at it. He was like, man, that's a hell of a brother.
Remember, I told you I study these people. So I study some amazing, and I love Black excellence as its finest when I see it and I watch how they move. And like Les Brown, some of all the greats and stuff like that I study. So Darnell Self, him and his wife, man, hands down, two of the best people leading in that space. Just wanted to say that. Let you go, Murff. You already know, man.
Absolutely. And listen, it's one thing to have the money, and money only makes you more of what you are. If you're a loser, then you can be a wealthy loser. But this brother, man, I mean, just his character, his unyielding character and wanting to help. I'll just give you this statistic. He shared this with us the other day. The organization that he and Tracy had built did over $500 million. $500 million. And like I said before, people that think they know, you know, they'll say stuff like, oh, the person on the top makes all the money and it's a pyramid, you know, all that stuff. I don't know why my voice changed like that, but but the deal is, now the organization has been paid over $500 million. They've made $20 million. Great amount of money. But you deduct 20 million from $500 million, there's a whole lot of zeros to go around to everybody. That's why when we talk about brilliant compensation, when we talk about rise of the entrepreneur, those things, look, when I do my class, I say, look, you're about to learn from somebody that's head, lost, head again, lost again, and now back on top, because I applied principles that will allow for you to be able to catch up, because it ain't enough hours in the world for me to be able to do this on my own and rebound from this, rebound from that. No, it's because of the vehicle and the knowledge that I was able to glean. And this is real knowledge. This ain't that stuff where people be pontificating about what they think they know. Because see, I know what I know. It doesn't mean that I'm always right, but I'm going to tell somebody my experience, my truth, remember? So, journal. So I'm doing an event with Jeff Olson. I got Mr. Darnell Self there. And as the regional vice president, I ran the state of Nevada for over 17 years in regional vice president capacity. So I used to fly speakers out on a monthly basis and put on these events. Well, this particular event, we had well over 400 people, and we were going to be selling tickets at the break. So before I'm in a situation stuck behind a desk selling tickets and so forth, I run to the bathroom. And so I'm in the bathroom, and this gentleman is in there, and he says, "Man, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, bro, this is a huge Legal Shield event." And he says, "Oh, Legal Shield, I heard about that." Now, his job was to clean the urinals. He's in there cleaning urinals, and he's telling me like I'm wasting my time. He was dismissive. Now, look, ain't nothing wrong with an honest day's work. Nothing wrong. But that person that's doing the fries at McDonald's, nothing wrong with the honest day's work. That's not the best person to take advice from. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. So I moved out to Vegas. I built my home out there. 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath. Again, just sold my place in San Diego that I ended up building, moved out there. And the killer is the place that I built in San Diego, everybody, parents, friends, best friends, you don't want to build your house there. Now, here's again, ignorance is not knowing what you don't know. I went all around that San Diego area, and the houses that they wanted me to pay like $400,000 for in Detroit, 40, 50,000. I'm like, it was a big difference. And I'm like, oh, look, I'm all for the weather and all of that, but come on now. But they were building this new community, and that house that I'm looking around, knowing what I know, oh, you talking about appreciating? Because other people that were in my situation that were looking to buy and that went around and seen these prices, they were going to be looking at those houses too. And I was right. So I was able to sell that, build mine, and move out to Vegas, and in essence be in retirement mode if I wanted to, because I own the house free and clear because I did that 1031 exchange just on the profit of what everybody said I shouldn't have done, but I knew what I knew. Not that I was always right, but I was right on that. So I talked about Mr. Self. This gentleman is a 2-time National Black Chamber of Commerce recipient. Just again, and this was back when I think he was at 15 million. He's over 20 million now. So this was some years ago, but that's I was able to get mentored and coached by. And this is Mr. Brian Carruthers, and this gentleman has wrote these books. Untrapped should be required reading. Now, he wrote Building an Empire before Untrapped. And what he found, Building an Empire, that's like the network marketing Bible. You can go through there and you got game after you read that book. The problem was that if you tell somebody what to do and not understanding why to do it, then they can fall off. So watch that Rise of the Entrepreneur, read that Untrapped, read Building an Empire. I'm just saying, if you are looking to accelerate your income. So if I was to ask, what kind of car do you drive, and, the cars that you really like, I can assure you that you have those cars insured, just in case. And I always find it interesting that people will insure their vehicles and they don't want to insure themselves. And what I mean by that, I share it with you that, I had gotten involved with Legal Shield. And look, I'm just going to educate you about why this was so appealing to me. I told you my work history and dealing with the employees and being an employee and getting laid off. So I needed something that was real. So I can tell you about this, and it can sound too good to be true. But they've been around for 50 years. 50 years and going strong. Biggest network of attorneys anywhere. Remember I was talking about that $450 an hour attorney? I don't know for sure. I'd assume that they were what they call AV rated, but that's what we deal with, best of the best. But here's the deal. You're able to pick up the phone and get advice on any type of legal matter that you want. You're able to have them write letters, make phone calls on your behalf. They're going to review contracts. Again, this is what I'm talking about now. Business owners, because we have separate business plans. I'm not going to go through the whole thing and all of that. I just want my people to know how I was able to get the funds to get to that right side of the quadrant, and then from there become an investor from the funds that I was able to make by building a business that expands all across the United States and into Canada, because we had a real viable service that people needed. So preparing your will, they prepare your will. They do the if you ever sue, they'll go in and handle that for you. Family domestic services, so the divorce, things like that. Traffic tickets, you get a traffic ticket anywhere throughout the United States right from our mobile app. You take a picture of the ticket, hit send, it goes to your attorney. Your attorney can go to court on your behalf and represent you. I got this ticket. They said I was doing 48 and a 35. And and listen, fam, I know y'all probably saying, oh, he brought, no, I wasn't. But the attorneys were able to present that in a more detailed way, and I was able to get that ticket thrown out. 24/7 emergency access. Now, this is the part where, in all seriousness, especially in the times that we're in right now, people need to have 24-hour access, because you never know what's going to happen. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're in a situation where you feel that, your rights are being infringed upon, or just blatant stuff is happening. Like my situation. Those of you who are familiar with Vegas, I'm in Summerlin, affluent area here in Vegas. I'm on Rampart. I'm in the left turn lane, and I drive a decent car, drive a Genesis, and I'm got my blinker on in the left turn lane. 3 car lanes over is a police car. Guy's in there by himself. He, looks like he's about to turn right. Light turns green for me to make my left. He crosses over all the lanes and follows me into Tivolo Village. Any of you all familiar with Tivolo Village? I may be saying it wrong, but y'all know what I'm talking about, off of Rampart and Summerlin. So I go and I park, and I always back in. So I back in and I see the police officer going slow, looking at me, going slow. He goes to the end of the driveway, and the parking lot, doesn't park, just stops. Now I'm on the phone because I'm early for my appointment, and I'm talking on the phone, see him over there, but hey, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm about to go into a business meeting. So I don't know, 5-6 minutes go by. He comes back by. He's driving even slower this time, and he's on his walkie-talkie. I'm still sitting in my car, handling stuff because I'm early for my appointment. I don't know, 7 minutes or so go by. Now it's time for me to go into my appointment. I get out, 5 police cars. First, those 2 pull up. They look at me. I look at them. They don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. I go around the corner, 3 more police cars. Now, just the peace of mind, because they didn't say nothing to me. And I'll tell you why I think they didn't say anything to me, is because I used to put on my events every week for years at the police department. That's me with the sheriff. I'm one of their donors to their volunteer agencies. This is the other sheriff that came along after him. They giving me awards. I'm at their banquet. So 1 or 2 of them, because I was there every week and then every month putting on events, somebody recognized me and said, that's Murf, don't mess with him. But what if it wasn't me? The peace of mind that I had of knowing that I could say, hey, officer, not sure what this is all about, but let me get my attorney on the line. That is powerful, and especially in these times. So this gentleman right here, because y'all saying, okay, maybe Murf is a hood rat. Okay, all right. Any of y'all recognize this gentleman here? Most people don't, unless you're in the arts. But that's one Best Director, Mr. Ryan Coogler, for Black Panther. Can we get some Black Panther on him, right? Hell of a movie. Now, this is the same Ryan Coogler that goes to his bank, uses his debit card, punts in his PIN, and he's withdrawing. Now, understand this is a multi-millionaire. He's withdrawing $10,000, and he writes on the back on the slip, hey, please give this to me discreetly, because he doesn't want the teller 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, So the teller takes it upon herself that this gentleman is robbing the bank. His ID, all of that. Here the police got him handcuffed. This could happen to anybody. People with children over in college and things like that. Please don't get me started. So that's why I'm saying everybody needs it. $29.95 a month. It's a steal. Is it real? Yes. 50 years worth. Over 20 for me. So what would you rather do? $300 an hour? And I told y'all, I'm paying over $450 decades ago. Or $300 a year. That is a nice proposal. That's what's been able to help me have something where I didn't have to deal with employees, didn't have to be the employer, but I had business partners. Heard BOJ saying that he was pivoting and embracing that network marketing. And because anything that's stable, especially fam, we know how last year was. we had some what do they call them, rugs? So all right, man.
We had some Aladdin rugs out there flying last year and the year before. Boy, you better stop it, man. I thought Coach Rashid was getting ready to go ahead and fly to Mars last year.
So, fam, 70% of all identity theft has some type of legal challenge. So this merger of the two was the best that's out there. In fact, Forbes magazine said we have the best identity theft protection that's out there. We not only monitor everything, the dark web, all of those type of things, but we also do the restoration. So we will restore that person's identity back to pre-theft status. And at no additional cost, we have a VPN service. Many of you guys are familiar, like IP Vanish. There's a fee for that. We include it. You're familiar with password managers. We include that. No additional cost. So that takes care of the immediate family. For an individual that doesn't have wife, kids, and all of that, $19.95 a month. If you got children, married, those type of things, family plan, $34.95 a month. So I'll wrap up with this. And Lambo, you can appreciate this because this is in your space. So as COVID was hitting, I got a notification from one of my cards. They said, hey, we have a deferment program that we can set you up on while we figure out what's going on with this COVID thing. We know that, things may be tight for people. We want to look out for you. I'm like, shoot, sign me up. So I got a notification some, 30 something days later that, I had a delinquent on my account because of my ID shield. Then I got another one saying, hey, bro, you got a delinquent account. I look, it's the same creditor that supposedly has me set up on their deferment program. So I'm thinking, oh, this is an easy fix. Pick up the phone. I call them. No results. You got to write them. No results. They got my letter. They probably put it in the waistband. But because I had the ID shield that let me know that I had a problem, then I tried to do what they told me that I should do. That didn't work. Because I'm a Legal Shield member, I was able to have them, and check it out what this happened. 55 points from that one letter, my score went down. See that? 55 points. That's serious. Lambo can tell you. But now I look here, the report that they gave me, this is the letter that they wrote on June the 8th. June the 8th. This is from my attorneys. This is the letter I got back. Was that June the 9th, because it takes 30 days. So exactly 30 days later, July the 9th. Hey, sir, this is an oversight. You're all good. Score on that same day, July the 9th, went back up. So that's what, people ask what I do. Hey, that's what I've been doing for the last 20 plus years. And again, that's because we're serving and helping people. Over and above that, thank you. Thank you. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. See, y'all got me multitasking. I'm doing good. The Compound Effect. Yes, absolutely. Same principles as the Slight Edge with Jeff Olson. So this is the member perks. You use our member perks. This is over 400 companies that provide significant discounts, 20, 30%. It takes care of your fee. You use that on a regular basis, restaurants, all of this type of stuff. And for many of us that have home-based businesses, we have plans specifically for them. So as I'm wrapping up, I told you that in everything we have ups and downs. And I remember being in Vegas and had a apartment, and rent was due. And this is fast forwarding. Some things happened with my father, and for time's sake, I'm gonna bypass that. Maybe Lambo will have me back, and I can kind of get y'all to part 2. But I remember sitting there counting coins to pay the rent, and in the midst of that, because I know who I am and whose I am, I started laughing. I said, I gotta take a picture of this because this is a season. But when you know what you know, and you know whose you are, you're gonna turn the corner if you stay convicted. And this is 20 years. They gave me an award because when I first started with them, they said, if you want long-term success, do these 3 things and you can have long-term success. Now, call me crazy, but if there's only 3 things that I need to do, I think I could figure that out. Now, I'll tell those same 3 things to people that tell me that they want a life change. They need to make this money. They're serious, all of that. I remember, man, this gentleman, Mark Smith, former military. We used to have these executive meetings. And he said, listen, guys, this is a news flash. He said, you gonna get sick, your children gonna get sick, your family gonna get sick, somebody gonna die. It's called life. Wake up and accept it. Whoo! That's hard hitting. Military, that's why I preference that, right? Now me, I'm a brother that's about business. I was like, okay, I hear his point, but that did knock a lot of people out. Because I'll tell people, hey, one of the things of the 3 things is to show up every week. People say that they need that. 2 weeks, they'll miss more than I had missed in 5, 10, 15 years. Because if it was only 3 things, I said I could do that. This is proof of that because it was one of them. So as I wrap up, fam, this is from being on this yacht cruise. And that's, again, your associations. And living my best life.
Go ahead, Murf. Go ahead, Murf.
So, family, remember this. Remember this.
I see that with the Versace on. I said Murf in there getting down, man.
So, hey, family, just remember this. The entire water of the ocean cannot sink a ship if the water cannot get in the ship. And so, so that we don't let that negativity get into us, surround yourself with positive people because associations are everything. Everything. That's how you can contact me. Lambo, brother, thank you for the platform. Prayerfully, I was able to, touch somebody, help somebody. Because listen, we're going to all go through it. Ups and downs. It's called life.
Dude, you showed out. Y'all put them fire emojis, lightning balls, eagles. Put it all out there in the comments. Put some 7s and 1s out there in the comments, man. Because Murf, you did your thing and represented the way that I knew Murf was going to represent, man, out here. Thank you for this, Murf, man. I'm trying to tell you, blue sky with the wonderful fireworks. We already know it, man. PC says, man, thank you for your powerful testimony. Yes, man, you already know, man. Nothing but the fire emojis. We loving that, man. LA Law said this was amazing, man. Shout out to you, Murf. Misfit Enterprises with the fire emoji. Shout out to you, Misfit Enterprises. We love it, brother. You lit it up, man. And not just that, man. I just want to tell you, you have been so amazing tonight.
Thank you, man.
So amazing tonight. You know, I think we all needed this because so many times in our journey, a lot of people, man, we mistake the book from the cover. We trying to peep to see what's inside. But when you hear the journey and when you hear the testimony, and we all have that journey with us. I don't care who you are, what creed, what race, what religion you are. You're a human being and you're walking in this life. You will have a journey. And in that journey, along the way, you're going to have some ups, some downs, some mountains, and some valleys. But how you get through that and you being able to overcome that allows other people to be blessed by your very presence. And Murf, man, we are so thankful that you went through that, man, because again, as leaders and in leadership, you will be tested.
Yes.
You will. Now, I'm going to just keep it 100. When you showed the pictures of the coins, Lambo literally went back. And I remember, man, my wife, true story, my wife emptying out her jar that her father and everything, man, had saved coins in. And I didn't have much or nothing like that coming from New Orleans, man, and just trying to do something. And my wife says, no, baby, if this is my last, this is what you got. And I remember crying as we're emptying out that jar so I can go take my test for my CDLs so I can provide for a lifestyle. This is before marriage. This is before an engagement. This is in the dating stage. And she's like, baby, I ain't got much. You ain't got much at this point. But this jar right here, my dad saved up these coins. And
now you could take her to Rio. That's somebody. That's a keeper right there.
Bro, I'm telling you, this one right here, see that Renata Johnson? Boy, let me tell you something, boy. Let me tell you something. So, Murf, when I see that, I think everybody on the program identified with journey and places in your journey along your way because they were able to see themselves and reflect. You understand? Do you understand that being that relatable and people say, man, if Murf can make it, you give me hope that I can make it.
Yeah. And, you know, man, I pondered on, you know, sharing that religious journey. But for me, I just, man, I don't know how people get by if they don't have that to lean on, man. Man, I'm so glad that was my experience because I was, like I said, logic don't have nothing to do with, you know, me having that experience. And once I had that experience, I know I can be like, hey, look here, Lord, hey, we got to do something.
Look, I'm Murf, do you know how powerful that is? Because Steve Harvey said it the best, man. He said, dude, there's thousands of books of how you can make it through life with the help of God. There ain't one book I've ever read or seen on a shelf of how you're going to make it through this life without it. And that's the thing that people going to come into that realization wherever they're at in some form or fashion in their life, that you're going to have that aha moment.
Yeah. And that's why, like I was saying, man, I wasn't disrespectful when they were praying because I'm not that Bible thumper. I'm just telling you my truth, my experience, and prayerfully, you know, it can help.
Bro, you know, you did, bro, I'm not lying. This brother came with the presentation. Y'all don't know how much work I know Murf did and put into this tonight to give y'all this and to give y'all some value, man. And to seeing this all in there and the load, man, Big Ant, you already know. Just come on, Coach Rashid, all these people, bro, you just don't even know what this does to us when we actually see this. And the love in the chats, the people in the chats are letting you know, like, this is what we came for. We didn't come for anything. This is why they stayed on. When there's a big drop off, when people are really not feeling people in their journey, you'll see the drop off on the Leverage Show. Oh, trust me. People will let you know, oh yeah, it's on the East Coast. It's getting late. You know, it's Eastern Standard Time. It's time for us to go to bed. But for them to stay on and people like, man, no, I want to hear this brother's journey. I want to hear his story. I want to hear what you're actually doing. You know, and then to see your great friend Don, man, on here too, man. Dude, this is amazing. People who understand this, understand. And for you, Murf, we can't wait to get you back, because Murf only was now Murf showed y'all, he gave y'all a glimpse of a fast forward of his journey. And you guys got to see it in real time. And look, PC say, yeah, I'm hanging past my bedtime. I know this. And Miss Fat said, way past my bedtime, but well worth it. Shout out to y'all, because I know.
Thanks, fam. I appreciate the love, fam. Thank you. Thank you.
We truly appreciate that. You know, it's so funny. We all, you know, you get different messages from people, and we don't even say who's on, and you see people in the comments. And then there's some mystery people, man, who are on here. Very powerful people. And when we see that, when you get the message like, this brother's killing it tonight.
Oh, dang.
This to us does something to us. And we really want to let you know, Murf, we thank you for not giving up. We thank you for seeing what it looks like to be resilient, to be consistent, and to go ahead and not give up and give in. And because of that, you've inspired so many people out here tonight. You've inspired me, my brother, straight up.
Thank you, brother.
You've inspired Lambo, straight up, brother, to go on ahead and you need to kick it to another level, right? Me, you, Coach Rashid, we may be having some long talks after this one. Brainstorming. Me and Coach, we gonna do this 48-hour, me and you and Murf, one-on-one with some other people. We're gonna make this stuff happen. We getting ready to go do some big things because we really want to help people, man.
Absolutely.
And Murf, I thank you for that, because your leadership, your expertise, your advice, it's relatable, but it was real. And again,
thank you, man. And it's not something, man, that, you know, I take for granted. And when I have this opportunity, as I said, you know, from the onset, people have taken the time to pour into me. And, you know, I took the time to try and make sure I stayed on track and had a flow, because, you know, I could have bounced all over because I can get passionate. And Blue Sky, you did a great job keeping me on track too. I'm glad for that.
Shout out to you, Blue Sky. Blue Sky gonna make sure she's on, and she posted in there. I posted it too. She posted. Shout out to you, Miguel, man. Mr. Murf in the building. Loving to see Miguel in here. She posted in there about going see that video with Eric Rohr on
Eric Rohr.
Yep. And I got the spelling of that name so people can actually go ahead and take a look at it. And this is it, The Rise of the Entrepreneur by Eric Rohr. W-O-R-R-E. Okay, so if you guys are looking that up, that is it. Les Brown is in that documentary, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think Les is saying some things and stuff like that within there. So you guys can go.
Oh, man, they talk to so many, you know, business people, bro, that if you know anything about the people that they are interviewing, oh, these are heavy hitters. So don't take my word for it. Go and see. And it really is what's happening now. And this was, I forget when he did it, but this is a little ways ago, but it's still just as relevant.
Yeah. Check out the link I posted for the piano table, Murf. Well,
snap.
You got a link for the piano? Listen, sometimes YouTube may not let you share it for a link, so keep that in mind if you may be writing that.
Oh, okay. That's what I just sent you talking about.
Yeah. No. She said, check out the link I posted for the piano table, Murf.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
So sometimes YouTube won't let you share it. and they kind of block people from that. So,
Oh,
Murf, could you put your information up one more time?
all right.
People can get in contact with you, and they could send it directly to that email
Thank
for
you.
you, Murf. Not a problem.
Yeah, please do, because I'd love to see that. Because man, I tell you, I have not seen that table anywhere. And I had it. Okay, cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, can you guys send it there? Enroll.murfmedia.com.
Actually, yeah, that'll work.
And appointment.murfmedia.com as well. That'll work too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess I should have put the direct email too, though. The direct email is just murfmedia@gmail.com. murfmedia@gmail.com.
Okay.
murfmedia@gmail.com. I'm gonna throw it in here.
Me and you both, man. We own it, man.
Okay.
That's it, right?
murfmedia@gmail.com. I'm not seeing what you're doing because I'm over here.
Screen. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't put it out there on the screen, man. Please email him at murfmedia, man, at gmail.com, man. Y'all send Murf some wonderful love too, man, with an email. Nice email. Let him know and everything, man. Exactly, man. What his testimony did, or just something, just to go ahead and continue to keep encouraging him on his journey, especially in helping people, man, where he's at. So murfmedia@gmail.com. Shoot him a line, shoot him a message, man. He will definitely respond. Murf respond to every email. I've never seen nothing like that. I'm trying to tell you this right now. Never seen anything like that. So Murf, you be on it, brother. I was like, golly. I say, Murf, did you catch that email? Yeah, Lambo. Got that email about 4 minutes ago. I'm like, what?
Hey, that's what my pops taught me, man. You got to be about business, man.
Yeah. I love it, man. Murf, you own it, brother. Between my sisters, brother, it take me some time to get back with some things. But yeah, shout out to that. And I see Murf did put it just on here. Shout out to you. Murf, are you an owner or co-owner of any businesses that you are not actively involved in, but you collect money on? It's a good question from Blue Sky. Shout out to you, Blue Sky.
Yes, absolutely. They're called overrides and they're called residual. That's why that foundation that I was talking about with the company, when you market those services, and if you guys have an interest, just let me know. But when you market the plan, you get a 1-year advance on your commissions. And then every year from there on, you get residual income. And then any of your agents anywhere throughout the United States, you can earn residual off of their sales, as well as what are called overrides, which is the difference between where you are and where they are. And again, and anybody that starts, they can pass me up and I'll be your biggest cheerleader. So that's what's so great about, that's why they said it's brilliant compensation. Nobody is trying to hold anybody back. If anything, they're trying to lift them up.
Awesome. Shout out to you, Murf, on that. Definitely for clearing that up. See, a lot of people and everything, man, they don't know that what stage in life that when people are hearing their journey. I'm like, no, yeah, Murf is that guy where he can sit back and kind of travel and that's the enjoyment.
That's
of
that
life,
part
man.
too, brother. Since July of 2022 is when I started. Man, I got some pictures and all of that. But as I was putting this together so that I had a flow, I said, you're going to have to invite me back and I'll show you what those sacrifices allowed me to do in the lifestyle that I've been blessed to.
You're definitely going to be back, bro. Don't even go there, man. You're my brother. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Miguel said, Rise, it was 9 years ago. Shout out to that. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely one of them. And that's what we want to see and everything, man, when we actually out here and producing that, man. Murf, listen, what do you have new, getting ready to possibly getting ready to jump in and come out? Or right now, are you resetting, refocusing, and getting ready to launch out anymore? Because, dude, you were hosting Zoom calls, and a lot of people don't know this, for years. And being in meetings for years, almost 20 years, you've been doing this.
And traveling all over the country doing Super Saturdays, doing presentations. Like I said, one of my trainings that I'm known for is based on that cash flow quadrant. I go in deep and I give you all types of scenarios because I be slapping people around in a nice way because I'm trying to wake them up. I don't want them to do. Listen, I done went through it. They can choose to go through it if they want. If they got better logic, I'm all ears.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Murf, for that, man. Thank you, dude. He killed it tonight. Y'all don't even know. This right here is amazing. We are excited for you guys to see just the very beginning and introduction of CA Murf, to hear his story. And guess what? We got more for you guys to come the next time he comes back. Again, you guys can definitely reach out, stay connected with my guy, Murf, man. The information is on the screen. You guys can go back, definitely check into him. Make sure you send him a message, send him an email. It doesn't matter. Reach out, sign up to one of the programs, man, that he actually talked about that can really help sustain you and help change your life. And if you want to be a partner within that, man, and you want to go ahead and partner, is there a way that they can partner in with that and reach out to you directly to say, hey, Murf, I signed up, would like to get into this. This is something that I'm very interested in. Absolutely. And what would be the next steps after that, Murf?
So if they want the service, they can do that through that enroll.murfmedia.com. If they already know they didn't want the service, if they have an interest in earning some additional income and building that, passive residual income and are willing to work. Because listen, I'm a novice on the Bible, but faith without works is dead, right? I know that one, but if they're willing to work, hey, they got the money right now. I just had a young brother that I coached and mentored. We were celebrating him 2 days ago for earning $18,000 last month. Wow. Last month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Young brother.
That is amazing. Miguel, shout out to you for that email sent, he said, man. Shout out to you for that. And I love to hear people, man, who definitely are wonderful and letting you know, like, dude, you rocked it, you killed it. Not just on the show. Reach out to Murf. Murf is one of those brothers that you really want to be around because his knowledge in business, the wisdom in business, and the wealth of wisdom and knowledge that he has. So sometimes, man, and I tell this to people, man, your diamonds go overlooked sitting in your jewelry box.
Ooh, that's good right there. Ooh.
Ring the bell, my
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, ring that bell.
Your diamonds go overlooked sitting in the jewelry box. And sometimes what will happen is that we will place people or place things or place gifts or place talents in jewelry boxes. And then we shut the jewelry box to try to dim the light, right? Because, I don't want you to outshine me. I don't want you to outdo me. I don't want you to outdo this. And we literally, man, miss out on some of the greatest opportunities, greatest networkers that we can actually do because of that. And we really want to go ahead and make sure, man, that your light's shining, brother, and you're helping as many people as you possibly can.
You just reminded me because, people will see the different celebrities and so forth. And one of the things that I come to learn, all that glitters isn't gold. Some of these people, man, that just because they have the money doesn't mean that, they're a quality person. And one of the things at this point in my life, I'm just surrounding myself with quality people because that way I have more time for quality people. And listen, when I say quality person, that doesn't mean that they have to have a wealth level, any of that. It's about their character. And that's, again, Lambo, why I have so much respect for you. And one of the things, many that I learned from Mr. Darnell Self is the definition for charisma. And my thinking versus his definition, I was like, oh, and that is helping people feel better about themselves. And you epitomize that, my brother, because you do it each and every show and anytime somebody's talking to you. So hats off to you for that, my brother. It's much appreciated.
Truly appreciate you, man, for that, man. Thank you for that. That's what we're here for, because we are people, man, at the end of the day. And at the end of it all, man, I want my life and everything, man, to speak volumes. When I take my last breath, I want people to be like, man, Drew, he was that guy. Lambo was that dude that when he showed you love, it was genuine, to your face, behind your back, whether you was in the room, whether you're not in the room. And at that point, man, all I want to do is have 2 words at the end of that day. Well done. Well done. Well done. Yes, that's the only words I'm living for, brother.
No,
well done.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we're here for. Miguel, thank you for this comment. I'm new here. Thanks for this channel, fam. Thank you, because a lot of some wonderful, great people who are first timers here, who's just not coming to the Leverage Show, man. You guys got so much amazing information. And I'm telling you this right now, my guy Murf, man, he was the one, man, that was able to bring so many wonderful people, man, right here to this show, man, because of his journey and his connections and his friendship that he has actually shown towards so many people. Thank you for that, Murf. Thank you, Miguel, for this. Thank you, PC. Drew is the real deal. Hey, man, I try to be just a little bit. You're welcome, Miguel. Glad to have you. Shout out to LA Law Show you love. Yes, I love that, Miguel. Press the like button and share. Thank you for that. Coach with the Lambo. In the Lambo after that, man. We love it. We love it. We love it, man. Thank y'all for tonight, man. Y'all have been amazing. Again, man, make sure you guys definitely go like, subscribe to my guy, Coach Rashid, Next Level. He is killing it. We are killing it. You guys missed the Zoom, the 5.5-hour Zoom, right? That was on Saturday. If you missed it, you better go back and everything and get ready for the next one, because we are coming all 2024. We're not letting up. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, we got so much stuff getting ready to happen. Y'all better stay tuned. Because of my guy, Murf, has laid out a plan for some of y'all to take advantage of. Contact and reach out to my guy, Murf. Definitely, man, be able to go ahead and partner with one of the best who is actually out there, man, and doing their thing. Blue Sky said, overrides residuals, the Little Brown Church. Hey, man, shout out to you for that, Blue Sky, man. Truly appreciate you, man. Okay, time to go to sleep, LOL. Thank you, PC. Yes, it's time.
Thanks for staying up with us. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. You already know. Listen, this has been another edition of The Leverage Show, man. You have definitely been tapped in. Thank each and every single one of you guys for tapping in, man. Every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, we are right here on The Leverage Show. And Fridays at noon Eastern for Finance Fridays, man, we are right here on the show as well. You guys do not want to miss, because we can't wait to have my guy CA Murf back to The Leverage Show. So make sure you guys stay tuned by hitting that notification and that bell and setting it to all. We truly thank you guys. We love you guys. All the support. My guy Murf came out here, killed it tonight. His sidekick Don out here saying good night, everyone. I know it's late when he had in Bama. Shout out and everything.
Thanks, brother. My guy Don.
Out here. We love you guys. Till the next show, we will be right back here on The Leverage Show, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, man. Tuesdays and Thursday nights. We love you guys. Me and CA Murf, we are out of here. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks,
God bless, man. Until next time.